saints and the Most High. All praise to YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. We the saints of the Most High. All praise to YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI.
All praise to the Most High. See these saints, we don't move like most guys. The light here so I can step with closed eyes and still see the enemy coming from both sides. Come to the saints and get sanctified. You ain't holy if you ain't got a saint to ride. I'm a saint for death and a saint for life. So it was probably the same in my ancient life. I was a man of sin that paid the price and still owe. So I'm trying to get my wages right. This for the masses. Yahawah been kicking our asses, cause we're the children of Israel, if you ask us.
We the saints and the Most High. All praise to YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. We the saints of the Most High. All praise to YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. We the saints and the Most High. All praise to YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. We the saints of the Most High. All praise to YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. Well, we them saints that sing a new song. It's our people dying every time we turn the news on. It's our people wearing capes, getting their coon on. For the ones who took it on, never putting you on. See, we dealing with the Stockholm syndrome. Talking to my people when they not gonna listen. They listen to these crackers, they got no wisdom, got no flavor.
The water. Let's give all praises, honor, glory, esteem to the Most High Yahawah and His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahawashi. Shalawam, peace and blessings to all of the Ahchyam, the brothers, the Ahchwathyam, the sisters, scattered to the four corners of the earth, all around the world. We say peace and blessings. Shalawam. Please do us a favor as you have tuned in and will tune in. Make sure you hit that like button, share, and subscribe. You have to subscribe. Will help, and that like button will help to get this message out, to edify and build our people up, right? We have our brother here that's joining us on this beautiful Shabbat day. But before we get started, before we go deep into it, I still want to always do this. Let's just give a moment of silence real quick for the Most High and His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahawashi, for all that they have done, and on this beautiful Shabbat day, a moment of silence. All praises be to the Father Yahawah. Once again, we have our brother here. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Hey, Shabbat Shalawam, brothers and sisters, family, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and whatever time zone you're at, wherever you may be, all across this blue globe that we live on. Thank you once again for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. Like Ahchyam said, if you guys can hit the like, the share, and the subscribe, that would help us out tremendously as we try to put these messages or these classes or these videos out and try to give people some sort of edification, you know what I mean? Just to encourage brothers and sisters that there are many others that are out there fighting the same fight, that are trying to worship the same Father and His Son, or giving all praise and honor to His Son, you know what I mean? But for the most part, thank you guys for tuning in, and we got a good class. So with that, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see.
Oh, snap. Salak, if I could say something else.
Khan, go ahead.
Just like I always say, please, if you guys can let us know by dropping a 1 in the comment section, letting us know how the audio is and how the video quality is. For the most part, we have good connection, good signal, but, you know, every now and then we may have a little hiccup. And before we go any further in the classes, if there is some type of distortion or audio connection, disconnection or whatever, if you guys can let us know, so that way we can fix it on the fly if possible, so we don't lose the train of thought or maybe have to redo the class of any sort. So if we, I think I've seen a 1 in the comment. Oh, there it is. All praise.
Yeah, we got a 1 in the chat. We got a 1.
Thank you.
Mayan, she put a 1 too. Jenny Wood put a 1 in the chat. We got a 2-1 P's. I know why. You know, Shabbat Shalawam family. Then I put all praises be to the Most High YAHAWAH, SHAM, YAHAWASHI. So yeah, we good right now. I believe we good. So as you see on the screen, together everyone accomplishes more. Team, there's like what they say. There's no I in team. Everybody's heard that. But what? But there's a me if you switch the letters around. She's so crazy. But there's no I in team, right? So we have to come together, you know. And as the brother sent me a message the other day, 2 is better than 1. We already know this. You can get more ground cover. You can get more things done. And it's just good to have someone to be able to fellowship with, lean on, talk to, share things with. Especially as brothers and sisters, you know, we need that interaction, you know, as they would call it, brotherly love. So that's what we kind of going. That's what That's what we're going to be going into today. It's about that. I have a few scriptures that we're going to bring out. I'm not sure where I want to start, but we'll start somewhere. So let's start Jeremiah. Now, unless you got something you want to bring out first, you got something you want to share first?
You kind of took one off my head, but wherever you want to go, we'll go. I have something I'd like to add to during the course of the class, but we can start off wherever you want to go. But I do have something I'd like to touch on, but wherever you want to go, we can go.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to start here with the definition in the dictionary of what we're going to be talking about today.
Unity.
Which is unity. For those people who don't know Hebrew, when you see this channel or you see the backdrop, you see anything that has to do with this channel, it says Yashra Yakad, which means we want to unite, right? We want unity for who? Israel. That's what the whole meaning of this is, brotherhood, right? So it says the state of being united or joined as a whole. And that's what we want. That's what this channel is about. That's what this brotherhood is about, that we want to be joined as a whole, right? To the 4 corners of the earth. And it is brothers that reach out to us from Canada, South Africa, Jamaica, India. Where else have we heard from? Arizona, Canada,
Baltimore.
We just shouting out every brother that reached out to us, that still reach out to us, that let us know where they're from. United Kingdom, right? We get watched a lot over there in United Kingdom, I guess, which is England or something like I would say, but over there, United Kingdom. So to all the brothers and sisters across, scattered across the world, 4 corners, that are watching us, keep watching us, keep sending those messages. And like I say, make sure you hit that like button. And this is why this message goes out like this, right? So we are touching not only things in our community, but all over across the world, things that we can't actually get to right now physically, but we're still sending the message out, and it's touching people. Like we said, in Canada, Jamaica, South Africa, Baltimore, Arizona, places that we haven't been able to travel to yet. But hopefully one day we will, right? But this is what we're going into today. Unity, the state of being united and joined as a whole. The number 1, right? Unity. So that's what we want to go into. Let's dive into some scriptures. And the first one I'm going to go to is Jeremiah. Let's go to Jeremiah. Chapter 32. That's where we're going to start from. The book of Jeremiah. We was in Proverbs. We had a little family lesson before we got started, which was good. Jeremiah chapter 32. And we're just going to read a few verses about what's going on here. Jeremiah 32 and verse 37 is where we'll be starting. Okay, go ahead. Jeremiah 32 and 37.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 32, verse 37. Behold, I will gather them out of all countries, whither I had driven them in mine anger, and in my fury, and in great wrath, and I will bring them again unto this place, and I will cause them to dwell safely.
Salaki, now this is why when we get started in our announcement, this is why I say it's scattered across to the four corners of the earth, right? Everywhere. And when we read the Holy Bible, when we read the scriptures, it clearly lets us know that he has scattered his people to the four corners of the earth. And it says all countries, but he's going to bring us out, right, of all these countries. Wherever you are, you will be brought out. So that's a beautiful thing. Within his very word, he's letting us know that he is what? Saving us, right? This is what salvation is. He's going to bring us out of all of these different nations and countries that he has placed us in because of what? Our disobedience and our father's disobedience. Go ahead.
Con, I'll read that again. Behold, I will gather them out of all countries, whither I have driven them in my anger, and in my fury, and in great wrath, and I will bring them again unto this place, and I will cause them to dwell safely. Verse 38. And they shall be my people, and I will be their most high. And I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, for the good of them and of their children after them.
For them and their children after them. That's very important. The scriptures tells us that we have to teach our children diligently, that they may know the word. It's for those children of yours and their children after them. It's not only for you. We, W-E in English, we as a group are very selfish people because we say, live your life or live your best life now. What about your children's and your grandchildren's life that are not here? Are you thinking about them as you live in your life? And a lot of us are not, which means you're not preparing and sometimes taking the wrong course of action because you're not thinking about your children or your grandchildren or your great-grandchildren. But it's letting us know that those type of things that we do in our life affect our children and our grandchildren. So us as selfish beings being disconnected from what? The spirit and more in the flesh, it's a hard thing. It's a very hard thing. Because it shows a separation between the type of people we are and how we don't actually, people say they care about their children, but do you really? I'm talking about the ones that's not even here, not the ones that's here. I'm talking about your great-grandchildren. If you have kids now, your kids is 13, 14, 15, 19, and they don't have kids, what about those kids that they're going to have? Did you teach your children diligently that they know the word of the Most High, that they may pass it on to their children, that they may give their children that same foundation that you have given them? That's why it's so important for us to teach our children that this word may be passed on and continued on when they have a family, right? So think about those things as we reading it. Verse 40.
If I can add to that.
Please do.
As beautifully as I was just said, also that shows us that the Most High has given us foresight and demanding us to have foresight as well, because we can't just think about the now and ourselves, but the ability to see in the future and think, you know what is required of us is very beneficial, and we need to teach that to them. Just like it says right here, after the children. The only way that takes place is if you're able to teach or even just speak about what is required of us, right? Because if we didn't have the Bible itself, how would many of us know that we were the Israelites? How many of us would know that there's a a future judgment at hand, or many things that when you read in the scriptures, right? So again, this is a little bit of foresight that's being spoken about. I mean, I can get the definition of foresight if people want that. I got it right here. I can read it real quick.
Go ahead.
Who may not know what foresight is. Foresight, the ability to predict, or the action of predicting what will happen or be needed in the future. So some of the similar words will be forward planning, vigilance, care, preparedness, discernment, presence of mind, vision. So as we bring all that out, it sounds like what we're reading a little bit is having a little bit of a foresight or vision.
Foresight.
As the Aqua's bringing it out, you can see it on the screen. The ability to predict or the action of predicting what will happen or be needed in the future, right? That's what you wanted, right, Ak?
No, that was it. If you can click on the little arrow showing some of the similar words, the synonyms.
On feedback or right here?
Actually, right there, right above feedback. Yes. So again, forward planning, attentiveness, vigilance, readiness, presence of mind, vision, presence of, I think I said that, but for the most part, having foresight.
Yeah.
Awareness, yes, awareness. So, as like Ak just brought out, that was well said. We need a little bit of that. That's what the Bible speaks about, that having foresight. You know what I mean? So, I just thought I'd bring that out, Ak.
God. We'll go right back. We still gonna be in the book of Jeremiah. I believe we at verse 40 now.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 32, verse 40. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, that I will not turn away from them to do them good, but I will put my fear in their hearts, that they should not depart from me.
So the Most High has to put that fear in your heart, right? And as we said earlier, it's very important, don't get me wrong, to teach your children, right? Diligently. But the Most High has to put the fear in their hearts. We love our children. We love everybody, you know, our significant others, our mothers, our cousins, our brothers. But we have to understand, when it comes to the Most High, he's not like us. And all you could do is teach your children. Does that mean that they're going to be saved? Does that mean that they're going to walk in the truth? No, it doesn't. There's no guarantees. We read all throughout the Bible, prophets, men of the Most High, David, you know, a man searching after the Most High own heart. Was his children wicked? Some of them, yes. What was the one we was talking about the other day? Eli, I believe.
Eli and his sons.
Eli and his sons. Was his sons wicked? Yes. Did his sons know the word? Of course they did. I'm pretty sure that Eli teach them the word. Of course he did. So all we could do is teach our children the very word. Give them what's on the plate. But it's up to the Most High if he's going to put that in their heart to fear him, to want to serve him. Like John 6:44 says, no man could come to me unless the Father. So if the Father has not called them, then he's going to leave them in the world where they are. And we as parents just have to understand that. You know, you just have to understand that. But you continue on with the other ones. You know, and when they're all gone, you did your job. Like Ezekiel 3:17 says, you know, we did what we were supposed to do. We gave them the word. We warned them. We did everything that we were supposed to do as parents. Now they're on their own. And the decisions that they make, just like the decisions that we make as adults, they're going to have to live with, and they're going to have to deal with. You're not going to be able to go up in front of the throne and cry for little buddy, and that's your son because, now he's in front of Hamashiach YAHAWASHI. You're not going to be able to go up and defend him or her. But anyway, what I want to focus on here is I will make a what? Everlasting covenant with them. The Most High continues to make these everlasting covenants with who? Israel. Then I will not turn away from them to do them good, but I will put my fear in their hearts. What does that sound like? Doesn't that sound like the new covenant? That they shall not depart from me. Doesn't that sound like the new covenant when he says the everlasting covenant and he's going to put their fear? When it talks about Hebrews 8:8 or Jeremiah 31:31, when he says that you won't have to teach no man or tell no man, everybody will know me from the greatest to the least. The fear of the Most High will be in them. They will know my word, right? And they're not going to depart from him anymore. Go ahead.
Verse 41. Yea, I will rejoice over them to do them good, and I will plant them in this land assuredly with my whole heart and with my whole soul. For thus saith Yahweh, like as I have brought all this great evil upon this people, so will I bring upon them all the good that I have promised them.
And that's a beautiful thing, that he's, once again, I always say this, that he is not like us. We were speaking earlier before we went live about forgiveness, right? And he shows his character time and time again that he's not like us. 42 really just bashes it open. I mean, this is like really just busting down the door. He tells you all about this evil, this great evil that he brought upon his people. It's like beating your child. But then after that, picking him up and hugging him and holding him and embracing him. Huh? Psycho. Some people would say psycho, as she just said. Right? Psycho move. We would look at that and say, man, that dude is crazy. Like he just beat his child. Go ahead.
Just as we bring that out, and this is good that we're having this. The question is, like, in my head, maybe I'm a psycho, but in my head, I think, and I flip it on the other hand. Well, who's really the psycho? The one that has to commit the punishment, or the ones who were told not to do it but still did it, knowing the great power that can come with discipline? You know what I mean? Who's really the psycho? The ones that have to do the punishment, the Most High, or is it the children who disobey, knowing the force that the Most High comes with?
It's the children that disobey, the one that commits the act.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is why it says, huh?
I say it's the children.
It's the children. This is why in the New Testament, in the book of Mark, I'm not going to give you the verse, but I'll give you the chapter so you can do a little studying on your own. Mark chapter 2. This is why he says that Hamashiach, that is, he said, this is why he came for the sick. Because we are sick. The children. We are the children. Like he just said, who is really, what was the word you used? Psycho. We are. You have to be crazy. You have to be psycho to know the fear, to know the Most High, to see it. Like those children of Israel seen it in the wilderness. Like there was no, I don't know, is it real? Is there really a such thing as the most? There was no doubt. They seen it with their own eyes. And they still went off. They still went off. They still did things. So as the Ak was saying, you got to be psycho. Something got to be a little off.
That's what I was saying. Like they don't really fear the Most High because they don't have, like, how they say the fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. They don't have that. They don't
The fear of the Most High, she was saying, is beginning of knowledge, and they don't have that. That is all. I will say this: that is all something that we lack. Think about Hamashiach Yahawashi if he was like us. If he was like one of us that was born in this earth, any one of us, we would not have salvation. The things that we're reading about right now, about the promises and everlasting covenant, how he's going to bring us out of all the countries and nations and put us back in, that would not be written. Why? Well, there would be no sacrifice for our transgression. No one could have done it. Right? We read that later on, way in the end in Revelation, when John was crying. When he was taken up in the spirit, and John was crying, and the Malak told him, or the angel told him, don't cry. He said, well, why? Hey, you know why. Hamashiach, Yahawashi of Judah. He is the one that can open the seals, open the books. So, anyway, to bring this, to answer your question as you was going and breaking yours down, it's the children that's crazy. It's the children that's it's just crazy. Go ahead,
Verse 43.
No, you finished with your explanation?
Oh yeah. I was just answering. Actually, I was just piggybacking off what you were saying. Like you and your wife were saying, like some people will say the Most High is like, did he have to do all that?
Right.
I mean, I would say personally, yeah, that's fair to ask. I mean, we're reading it, right? So do we think like that in today's time? We would probably go to jail for that. But the question is, who's really the one that needs help? It's us.
But what it also shows us is that, yes, he can bring this great force on you, right? Which we call, how does the Most High correction, right? Because he's trying to correct you through the evil that you did. So he's placing this stuff on you. But at the end, like I was saying, you pick that child up, you hug them, you embrace them. And it says, so will I bring upon them all the good that I have promised. Right. So just because you get that discipline, just because you beat that person, that child, whatever down, you still pick them up, you still show them love. Right. And they may not understand it. And they, hey, let's be honest, we was all kids, we was all teenagers. They won't understand it because we didn't understand it until much later. We didn't get it. Everything our parents told us, we just didn't get at that age of 17, 18, 19. But once you got into your late 20s, 30s, you was like, man, goodness gracious, I understand it now. And then you, as that child, have to go back to sometimes they do, not all the time, go back to your parent and be like, now I understand. And, you kind of, when it gets to that point, you kind of laugh about it. Like I was trying to tell you, but you just couldn't see it. And they like, I don't know why. We all been there. You got something? Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, even though we look at it like as our children and how they act, and like we're the children of the Most High. Mm-hmm. So regardless how old we are, we're still his children. Mm-hmm. And we go through things that we still yet at times don't understand why, or we cry because it's like, why do I have to go through this? Because we don't know. Mm-hmm. And that's the same thing, but it's all just to go back to him in return. Like the same thing when we do with our children, they don't understand, but then they still come back to us. We do the same thing with the Most High, and the Most High do the same thing with us. We are all technically his children, regardless if we birthed these other children, all his. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So when we think about it, we're all children, the same boat. Mm-hmm, we crazy for not listening. Mm-hmm. Just because we parents and we're adults, we don't listen.
So we all psycho.
Yeah.
We all psycho, And it's crazy that you can want that for your children, like she said, but at certain times you don't listen. This is what we was talking about earlier, before we went live is about forgiveness. How it's hard for one to forgive when you have been wrong, right? But then you ask the Most High, or you pray to the Most High for petition, and you want him to do things, but yet you don't want to do things. So it's like she said, children, you got to be crazy, little psycho, little off, you know. Hopefully you understand where we're trying to come from, what we're trying to say, right? But let's get deeper into this thing as we continue on. I'm going to go here. I want to go to the New Testament real quick, and then we're going to come back to Psalms. Let's go to Hebrews real quick, chapter 13. Want to go to Hebrews 13. I was going to save it for later, but we can come back to it and read it again, right? From the top, verse 1, right? I was going to save it for later, but I feel like I need to bring it out and show it now. Go ahead.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 1. Let brotherly love continue.
Which we don't have. I'm not saying some ox don't show brotherly love to different ox, but as a whole, as wide, as the brotherhood, that love is not there. It's not there. It's not even within our homes. The problem is that we don't know how to love one another, because a lot of us as young brothers, right, of broken homes and things like that, we don't know, or we never seen what it is and know how to love one another genuinely. So how do you know how to love? Well, we know how to love through the word, but seeing it is something different. And a lot of us didn't see that actual brotherly love, or you just didn't see love within the home, right? A lot of us didn't grow up with dads. Some of us on the other side didn't grow up with mothers. So you didn't see the interaction of love. So if we never seen it, how can it continue? And that's what it said, let brotherly love continue. But if you never seen brotherly love, how can you let something continue when you never seen it? I always ask myself, how do we know? How do you know? How do we know how to love? Or what brotherly love is? Well, recently it's been telling me you got to go back to the word. Your answers is in the word. Everything is in the word. This is why it says Hamashiach YAHAWASHI is the example. And what did he tell? If your brother offend you 7 times, you forgive him. So much that when Peter comes, well, what about 70 times 70? He said, you forgive him. That's love. As I said earlier, when Hamashiach YAHAWASHI was hanging on the tree, spat, beat, everything that you can think of, what did he say? Forgive them. Mm-hmm. They don't know what they do, but since I know and I understand, I'm going to be the bigger person, and I still want forgiveness for those people that did this to me. That's love. And that's something that we don't have. We lack that. Let somebody spit on you right now. Let somebody spit on you right now. Yeah, she said you're gonna get suspended. It's gonna be a problem. And then I come along right behind after that person spit on you and tell you and say, no, you should just, say you forgive them. You're not finna do it. Even the brother in the truth that believe in the Most High, he's still gonna bark and have something to say. He's not just gonna be like, you know what, brother, I forgive you. We see it. So right off the back in Hebrews 13:1, we lack this as a unity, as a people, as a nation. And where does it start? Within the home. there's no love in the home. There's no love for our daughters and for our sons. This is why it's so important for there to be the foundation of the home for the dad and the mom, so they can see interaction, they can see love. And not only that, the brotherhood. When they can see a strong brotherhood, a brotherly love, where one can feel comfortable, and almost to where you would let your what? Defense down. But unfortunately, in this world we live in, Satan is always around. And even in that brotherly love, just like with Hamashiach YAHAWASHI, there's always going to be a Judas among us. And it's sad because we have to watch out for that Judas that looks like us, that smells like us, that talks like us, that walks like us, that smiles like us, that knows all the lingo, Shalawam, the water, all praises, call halal, all of that. Knows the breakdowns, knows the precepts. But just like Judas, he was a thief. Right? So we have to be careful in this brotherly love that we're supposed to be continuing in. Go ahead, Og. I'm sorry.
Come on, verse 2. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained Malaks or angels unawares.
Mm-hmm.
Remember them that are in bonds, as bound with them, and them which suffer adversity, as being yourselves also in the body.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers the Most High will judge.
You know, people skip over this verse right here. This has a total different thing to do, but I just want to say people skip over this about whoremongers and adulterers, right? People that say that they believers. Whoremongers and adulterers. The marriage bed is supposed to be honorable and not defiled. Go ahead, verse 5.
Come on, verse 5. Let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as you have. For he hath said, I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee.
Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. The Most High said he'll never leave us and he'll never forsake us. And we know that every word that the Most High spoke, Hamashiach YAHAWASHI spoke it. So if Hamashiach YAHAWASHI spoke it and said, I will never leave you, neither forsake you, he even sent something for us. What did he send? The Most High sent his son. And then his son sent what? Nobody? You don't know what he sent for you?
The Comforter?
The Comforter. Right? He said, I must go. That the Father will send the Comforter in my name. So we have the Comforter. Go ahead.
Would that be the same as peace?
He gives you peace, yeah.
But would it coincide with the Comforter?
Peace?
Yeah.
If you have the Comforter, he'll give you peace, but it's not like the peace of this world. It's a different type of peace.
I wasn't too far off if I would have said that then.
No.
Okay.
But it's a different type of peace. Right? Not the peace of the world, but a peace within inside yourself with the calmness that you're confident in who you are. You don't need things of the world to substantiate who you are, right? You don't need to have on this product to make you feel better, right? You have somebody who has on Kmart shoes, not you guys, but I'm saying you have somebody who got on Kmart shoes. They don't feel confident going out or going to an event. But if they got on Jordans or something, it makes them feel better, like they got a new outfit on, right? So they're taking things from the world and attributing them to make them feel good. But the peace that you have, that you get from the Comforter from the Most High, is that you don't need those type of things. You're just happy and content with who you are.
I was happy with my Kmart shoes.
Right. You're happy with your Kmart. Right. Kmart shoes, right. You know? And you should be able to get 2 pair.
Yep.
Right? Unfortunately, Well, not for him. Unfortunately, I get 2 pair for him, and he tear them up. It's like he used to go to school and just skid in them. You know, man, I'm talking about them shoes wouldn't last for nothing. As we go here, it says, I will never leave them nor forsake thee. All praises, right? Verse 6.
Verse 6. So that we may boldly say, the master is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me.
See? That's what I mean by the peace. So you said, if I would have said peace, would I have been wrong? No, because peace is a part. It's just one component of the comforter, right? You're content, as it's stating right here, so that we may what? Boldly say, the master is my what? Helper. And I will not fear what man shall do unto me. And this is talking about what they do to me. But you can also say what they see me as, right? You don't care. You have a piece of within yourself that you're okay. Like she said, on Kmart shoes is okay. A lot of Kmart's is closed now. So for those younger kids, you don't know what Kmart is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Zodi's and things like that. As we said at the time, Circuit City, you know. I don't even know if the kids ever been in a Circuit City. They ever been in Circuit City? No. They don't know about Circuit City? Yeah.
It's like a Staples.
Yeah, we owe. Anyway. So we have a helper, which is our comforter, right? Which is Mashiach YAHAWASHI, and everything was sent through him. Verse 7.
Verse 7. Remember them which have the rule over you, who have spoken unto you the word of the Most High, whose faith follow, considering the end of their conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yahawashi HaMashiach, the same yesterday and today and forever.
And see, this is what I mean through Christianity and things of being a Christian, how things change, right? It says right here in the Bible that he is the same yesterday, today, and forever, just like the Most High. But people will say he changed, right? People will say he's not the same as yesterday. He's different today. And he won't be the same forever. See how they changed every part of it? Because now he's all loving. This is what they say. He loves everybody. He's all loving. But once again, like I said earlier, we as human beings, or we as people, don't know what it is to know what love really is. And the Bible shows us what love really is. We just went through that he disciplines his children, the ones that he loved. And this is why he, as he said, I brought all this evil upon them. So that Christian or that person that says he loves and he loves everybody, what about the evil that he brings on the people that he loved? Do you agree with that? Or is he just love and you could do whatever you want and there's never no punishment, there's never no nothing? It's just love. That's not what the Bible says. The Bible says he brings evil upon those people that he loved for correction. So that's a total different gospel that's being taught within the churches and the communities around the world, that he's just all love. But what about the other part? The correction part. Because even Hamashiach YAHAWASHI came, what? Doing correction. He made a whip. He went inside his father's house. He was whipping people, knocking over tables. He went to the Pharisees to their face, right? Called them vipers, snakes, to their face. So he wasn't that man that they paint today. But when you really look into the scriptures, as we are right now, it says he was the same yesterday, today, and forever. So he's always going to be like that. He will always come together and make a whip if he need to and go in there and start whipping people if he need to. Because the Bible says he did that. He said, don't make my father's house a what?
A synagogue of vipers, or dang.
Den of thieves.
Den of thieves.
Yeah.
It was. I think
Yeah.
it was something like that.
Yeah. So with this brotherly love, with the Most High correcting us, evil brought upon us, him still showing us love after he brought this evil upon us, bringing us out of all these nations. Now let's open this thing wide up. Let's go to Psalms real quick.
As you do that, and people tend to forget, there was a woman of another nation who Hamashiach said simply she was a dog, right? By casting crumbs to dogs. So I mean, it's in there. You guys just got to find it and read it and comprehend. These things do exist.
No, you said Cassidy. No, he's talking about. No, he's talking about. This lady had a sick daughter. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's talking about her. She had the sick daughter and wanted some help.
Yeah.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 122, and we're going to read from verse 1 to verse 9. And it says, a song of degrees of David. This is who we'll be reading from, David, right? Psalms 122, starting at verse 1.
I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of Yahawah. Our feet shall stand within thy gates, O Jerusalem. Jerusalem is builded as a city that is compact together. Whither the tribes go up, the tribes of Yahawah, unto the testimony of Israel, to give thanks unto the name of Yahawah. For there are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. They shall prosper that love thee. Peace be within thy walls, and prosperity within thy palaces. For my brethren and companions' sake, I will now say, peace be within thee. Because of the house of Yahawah, our Allah, I will seek thy good.
Peace be with you, or peace be within you. This is what we always speaking about, peace. Within the brotherhood, within thy walls, within our nation, within our communities, peace. Haven't they been screaming this since the 50s, 40s? All the marches, the walking, what have they be asking for? Peace. You just said peace, right? The Most High doesn't give peace as the world would think it. We know this, especially not in this time. How do we know this? We're going to come right back to Psalms, but we know this because Hamashiach Yahawashi said it himself. So if you're looking for a certain kind of peace other than what the Most High or his only begotten Son is going to give you, then you're looking for the wrong thing. Read that, Matthew 10 and 34.
The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. So that peace that you're looking for within this earth that we're living in, you're not going to receive that. Hamashiach, Christ, the anointed one that you say you believe in, he said, think not that I come. I didn't come to bring this peace on the earth that these people that live on earth want so badly. He says, but I came to bring what? A sword. What do you do when you hand somebody a sword? What do? You move out the way because that person might what? Stab you, kill you. That's what a sword is for. He came to bring all type of separation. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but for those who have not read it, please go back and read it, Matthew 10 and 34 on down. Because when you read it, it says he came to bring a separation from mother and daughter, daughter-in-law, father-in-law, all these things, son. So as we said earlier, when you go all the way back to teaching your children diligently and family and friends, and there's going to be a separation. There has to be.
It has to be a separation. Watch this. Even between, I know, like I say, people are going to say that they don't believe, Christians, that they can still do this. But listen to this. To jump over, let's go to Leviticus 20, 25, and 26. And the reason I want to read this is because we were talking about putting a difference. And there has to be a difference, right? Leviticus 20, 25, and 26.
Come, the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 25. Ye shall therefore put difference between clean beast and unclean, and between unclean fowls and clean. And ye shall not make your souls abominable by beast, or by fowl, or by any manner of living thing that creepeth on the ground, which I have separated from you as unclean.
So the Most High did this. The Most High did this. So when you speak to other believers or Christians and they say that they believe that they can eat what they want, I believe that too. I believe you can eat what you want. But when I read the law, as Paul said, he says he put a difference. Not I did it. I didn't put no difference because everything I ate was good to me. Well, what I wanted to eat, of course, what I wanted to eat. Some things weren't good, but what I wanted to eat, it was good to me. So when I used to eat crab, pork, shrimp, lobster, it was good. But when I came to the knowledge of the Most High, he said he put a difference between clean beasts and unclean beasts, and fowls that are clean and unclean. And then it says, you shall not make your soul abominable. Any living, creeping thing on the ground. It says, I have separated from you as unclean. Well, then that lets me know, okay, I might think that everything is okay, but the Most High knows better than me. And he told me, don't eat those things. So I'm not going to listen to what I want to do or what he told me to do. He told me that don't eat those things, that makes me unclean in some type of form or some type of fashion. I can't see how it makes me unclean, but he knows that it's making me unclean for a particular reason, right? Verse 26.
Come on, verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, Yahawah, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye shall be mine.
So he separated you, severed you. And it's so crazy that they use that word severed. Because when you sever, when you think about the word severed, it's not something that's, when I think about it, my opinion, I don't think that it was something done like, oh, it was like, oh, come over here, you know, come on, you know, like, you know, real gentle. When I think of severed you, it was like he yanked you and pulled you. Get over here. That's how I look at it. Am I wrong? When it says sever, like he's
Severed?
Yeah, like
A cut.
like a cut. Like
It's a cut.
he cut it. That's it. Yeah, he came and cut it. Snap. You wasn't ready for it, right? You was over there. You was dipping that stuff in the butter, you know, and then he came along and chopped it and severed it. Why? Well, at the end, it tells you right there that you or ye should be mine. So you had to put away the what? Crab. You had to put away the shrimp, clams, mussels, all those things, pork, owls, rabbit, squirrel, possum, alligator. And you might say, well, I don't eat all that stuff. But it's a lot of people who do eat that stuff. Raccoon, especially down in the South. He separated you that you will be what? His. So this is what makes you special. as Peter speaks about in his, a generation of priests and all these different things. These are the things that make you special. Let's go back real quick. Oh, we was at Psalms. Let's go to Psalms. Let's go to the classic. Psalms 133. Right? This is where it all comes from, right? Yasharallah, Yakad. This is where it all stems from. This is where it all comes from. These few little verses right here, right? This is where the foundation of it is. Psalms 133, 1, 2, and 3. Go ahead.
The book of Psalms, chapter 133, verse 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there Yahweh commanded the blessing, even life forevermore.
Representation of a lot of things in here. Of course, we see the unity, how good it is and pleasant for all the brethren to dwell together in what? Unity. The Most High through David is saying what a beautiful thing it is when all of Israel comes together and they're under one accord. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Likens in verse 2, it is like the precious what? Ointment. What ointment? That oil. The one who was smeared with oil that ran down upon his beard. And then it gives you a likeness, even as Aaron's beard. Aaron's beard was so long that it went all the way down to the bottom of his skirt. All the way down. That's how long Aaron's beard was. You don't know who Aaron is? Aaron is Moses' brother. So this is what the Most High truly wants from us, is to dwell in what? Unity. But in order to get into this unity, right, some people have to lay down. Some people have to humble themselves. Some people can't be what it is that they really want to be in the earth. They would have to humble themselves. Because we already have a king, so we already have a leader. If you have a king and you have a leader, he says we're all brethren. No one is above anyone. So we were all just brethren working in unity. We could get a lot of more things done. That's why it starts off and says how good and how pleasant is, Salakia, pleasant it is for the brethren to dwell together in unity. And that word unity is just one. That's what it means. You take all your different components, all your different fingers, and you ball them up into one, and now you got what? A fist. You let it back out, they're fingers. They can do multiple things. But when you bring them all together, it makes a fist. Anything you want to add on?
No, that was in a way that's symbolic of how people, that gesture you just made right now with the fist, how you use that to explain verse 1 as well. A lot of people use that symbolically, and I don't know if they even know what they're doing when they do that with the fist. Like a lot of the Black Panthers, the Brown Berets, and all that, they use that as a logo because they know.
They know.
You know
they
what I mean?
Know. Yeah, they know. The ones who use that as a logo, yeah. I would think and assume that they know. He says it. A lot of people have used it, like the Black Panthers.
Yeah, but what does it mean?
Unity.
Oh, okay. I thought I wasn't sure what he said it meant.
No, he was saying like unity, like if we all come together,
yeah,
then it makes that bond and we all one. Yeah. But it makes a fist to what? Be able to protect, right? If something comes against you, then you could protect. So
like Black Power.
right.
Yeah, and again, that's like you said, and a lot of, I don't know what's the word to use, but a lot of groups or schools or people who are fighting for a cause use that fist as a logo, or it's symbolic, meaning to
Right.
unite. You know what I mean? So I just thought that was crazy in itself, because I've seen that many times. You can see it in the Black Panthers, the Brown Berets, even our brothers and sisters of God. They use that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, power. You know what I'm saying? Even Public Enemy, for those
Right.
that know who. You know what I mean? They throw up that, or even in the Olympics of the '60s, I believe, they put that fist in the air. That was a sign for unity, which is impressive. Just for them to even use that as an idea. You want 1 Corinthians?
We're gonna go to 1 Corinthians chapter 1. And as you can see the title, it says an appeal to what? Unity. Right. So even back then in Psalms and before Psalms, has always been called upon to unite, be one, unity. And it's the same thing we calling upon on this Shabbat day. And I think we should do more lessons on unity within the nation, because it's a lack of unity, to be honest. You know, it's a lack. And that's why people want to go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was gonna say something. It was kind of a delay, so I didn't hear you. But I'll let you finish first, and then I'll say what I.
No, I was just gonna say this is why people punch, poke, and do certain things towards us as believers in Hamashiach YAHAWASHI, because we don't have that unity. And I'm not saying those other religions or those other people have truth or whatever, but what I am saying is that some of them show unity within their belief system, and with that, the world gives them a certain type of respect. We don't get that. Of course, we know, because we're the children of Israel, but also because we don't show that unity, that we're united, and we bicker and fight amongst each other and with one another. So once we do that, as always, it's like, well, why do we have to say anything? Like, they're bickering, fighting, and basically destroying their own belief within inside themselves, right? And I'll use this one thing. Hold on, let me just say this. With Gamaliel, if I'm pronouncing that right, Gamil, for those who know what I'm talking about, he told the council when they stood up and they wanted to kill the disciples and Peter and them, he said, if these men have been sent from the Most High, then you will be killing the Most High's messengers, and the Most High will bring evil upon all of us. But if these men have not been sent from the Most High, and what they're doing, it will fizzle out over time, and it won't be anything, and it will come to what? Nothing. That's what he said. And they didn't kill the disciples. They let them live, right? That was the order of the council that day. I believe his name is Gamaliel or Gamil, right? So if people feel that the Israelites are not the true children, right, it will fizzle out eventually. But if they are the children of the Most High, then you are actually coming against the children of the Most High, and he will bring evil upon that nation. We see the evil that's being brought upon the nation. And not only that, it has not fizzled out over thousands of years. So if it wasn't sent from the Most High, why are we still doing it here today? And it will continue on. We could see, even now in my lifetime, I could see once I pass and go on, whether I live till I'm 80 or 90, I can see the next generation, at least 2 generations of Israelites is going to continue on. I can see that right now. I can see it. So it's going to continue on into the end because that's his word. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I know like you always ask how come there's unity in other so-called religions and there's no unity within us as a whole. But I honestly believe you got to look at who is really being unified. When you look at Muslims, like you see on the TV,
Right.
and they all come together, you have to understand that anybody can be a Muslim. When you look at Christians, anybody can be a Christian.
Right.
When you look at Buddhists, anybody can be a Buddhist.
Right.
Reason why they're united the way they are is because anybody can be that. When you look at Israelites and who we really are, not anybody can be an Israelite.
Right. That's the difference. That's the difference. Yeah.
So the ones that are truly Israelites, they don't believe that that's who they are. Not only that, but they are already conformed to some other, so-called AHCHyam that they are praying to, because there's so many out there that are accepting of what these people want to do. When you come to the realization that you are an Israelite, which is really the first step of even believing, then that's when you have to see, okay, well, I'm an Israelite. Well, what does that mean? That means you got a whole law you got to abide by. And don't nobody even want to follow directions, let alone the law. And that's the problem we have.
So if you guys didn't hear that, just a quick, brief synopsis. Basically, she was saying that those other religions, Muslims, Hindu, and Christianity, they're all inclusive, meaning whoever can come can serve and, believe and be a Muslim, be a Christian, be a Hindu, be a Sikh, all those other places or religions, anybody can come, right? You have Chinese Muslims, you have Asian Muslims, you have white Muslims, you have black Muslims, you have, all these different people. But when it comes to what the Most High has set up for the Israelites, all people are welcome to worship the Most High, but not all people are Israelites. And that's the difference, right? All people are welcome to worship the Most High. He welcomes you to worship him, but all people are not Israelites.
It's a heavy load to carry.
And it's a heavy load to carry.
Responsibility that was put on you from birth. Not like something that you want to do because it was something that you saw and was like, oh yeah, we could do this.
Right.
No, this is what you have to do. And people don't like to be told what they have to do. Difference
is, like she said, when one comes from birth, as opposed to when you got older and you was like, oh, like, I want to be a Muslim. I want to celebrate Ramadan. Like, people do these things because I don't even want to speculate why they do it. Let me not say that.
Because it's something they want to do.
It's something they want to do, as opposed to being different. Like, you have to do this from birth. This is a law that was given. Unfortunately, a lot of us don't get it at birth because everything has been lost. And there's a lot of deceivement within the world. So a lot of us didn't get it at birth. Right. But we're getting it now. And this is why it's so important, like I said earlier, to teach your children diligently so they can get it at birth. All praises to the Most High that some are now getting it from birth. Like the Ak right here. He's feeding his children from birth. So they're getting it as soon as they come into the world, which is a beautiful thing. I had to wait odd years. I had to wait some years, right? So we went through life, as the Bible speaking about, not knowing the Most High and without the Most High, which is a very, very, it's not scary at the time because you don't know and you're without the Most High. But to be in this life and be in this world without the Most High, man, That's why we never knew who we were and what our purpose was and what life was all about, and was willing to throw it away for anything in this world. A lot of us, I can't speak for the odd, but I know in my younger years, I'm not supposed to be here alive or anything, you know. I knew growing up that I wasn't going to make it past 25. And that was good. I was okay with that because everybody around me in my neighborhood and where I live, they were dying off 19, 20, 22. And that was just the norm. So if you already put it in your mind and in your mindset that I'm not going to live past 22 to 25, and that was okay. You woke up every day, you went out there in the streets, and you knew that there was a possibility every day, the way you were living and the things that you were doing, that you may be killed and your life may be taken. And the majority, just like today in our youth, they're okay with that. And I was okay with it. And it wasn't until years later, now I look back on that, how foolish I was. Man, if my life had been taken there, I would have never, ever been able to come to the knowledge of the Most High and his son. Never known what life is truly about. Died like that in not knowing the Most High. Never repented, never asked for forgiveness, never said a prayer. And I would have died like that. And I think about all of my friends and companions that I grew up with that died like that. Never went to, well, they didn't go to church. They didn't pray. They didn't believe in the Most High. Nothing. And they died like that at a young age. And then I wondered to myself, why did they die and not me? Like, what made me different? Why did I make it to the age that I am and they died at 20 or 19 or 21? They didn't get that same chance. You know, those are some of the things that I think about, that I know those type of people and the way that they live, because I live like that too. And I felt the same way. They felt hopeless. When you're in the inner city, you don't have nothing. All you see around you is drugs, gangbangers, robbers, thieves, pimps, hustlers. You think that's the only way it is to live because you don't know nothing else. And everybody around you is dying or going to prison, one or the other. And you think that that's the norm. And you just waiting your turn to either die or go to prison. What a life. Like, what I look back on it now and it's like, what a life. Like, that's what you look forward to, dying or going to prison without the Most High. So, yeah, man, it's sad, you know, but I'm thankful to the Most High that he has allowed me to make it this far. And like she said, I be thinking like, why did I make it? It was other men that I knew, young men, they had children, 2 or 3 kids. Some of them had their wife, you know, 20, 21, and got killed, gunned down in the street. Like, what made me better than them? Why wasn't I gunned down? Why wasn't I killed? So those are questions and things people think about. I know I do. And, you know, like they always say, you don't know about what the Most High blows where it wants, and you never know. So let's read this real quick, though. The appeal to unity. I'm not going to read all of this for time's sake because we running a little behind, but we're going to jump down to verse 10 is where I think it really gets interesting. Let me see. Who shall confirm? Let's start at 9, and then we'll read down a few verses. 9.
John, the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 9. The Most High is faithful, by whom you were called unto the friendship of his Son, YAHAWASHI HaMashiach, our Master.
Fellowship. Go ahead.
Our fellowship. Now I beseech thee, brethren, by the name of our Master, YAHAWASHI HaMashiach, that you all speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment.
Now, Paul is writing this to the Corinthians. A lot of people out there love Paul. But why don't we hearken and listen to what Paul is saying? Now I beg you. Beseech means to beg. He's begging you, brethren, all the brethren, by the name of our master, YAHAWASHI, that we do what? Speak all the same thing. We know today within the nation, all Israel is not speaking the same thing. They're not. So right here, we're going against the very word of the gospel. And that there be no divisions among you. Man, there's more divisions, there's more camps. Now, every day a new camp is popping up. Every day, it's some more camps, some more brothers starting something else, and it's divisions. The first thing another brother will ask you when he run into you or he see you with your fringes and stuff on, the first thing he asks you is what camp you from. And I had a long discussion out on the streets a long time ago with a brother saying, isn't that just like when you out in the world and they approach you and ask you, what gang are you from? He said, isn't that pretty much the same thing? Because the way you're going to handle me, once I tell you what camp I belong to, that's how you're going to handle me. It just depends on who I say I belong to. Because if I say I'm with BOW, you may not like BOW. So right then and there, you bag up from me. Oh, okay, cool. And then you don't have nothing else to say. But if I say I'm with WFI and you vibe with WFI, then you might say, oh, okay. Oh, praises, Shalawam, Mark, and so it's all about who you connected with. That's divisions. As long as you are a follower of the Most High and His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahawashi, that's all it should matter. I shouldn't even be worried about who and what camp or church that you are designated to or assigned to or with. But that you be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment. What's the same mind? We all believe in Hamashiach Yahawashi and His Father. Same judgment, we all gonna get it when Hamashiach Yahawashi come back. We all gonna sit in the same judgment seat. We all gonna have to go through the judgment seat, and we all agree upon that. Do you agree upon that, Ak?
Khan, and if I can add to that, Ak, real quick.
Khan.
Just on the topic of unity and just this verse itself, we see that there is divisions, and I understand that. I get it. And just like how you said, just even approaching each other and that being like the main topic of discussion is all bad. It's kind of like in the world. Just even having the name unity and unity camps or unity classes shows that there is a division. Because if there wasn't, you wouldn't need to put that. You would know you would be on the same topic, the same discussions, the same mind. So it just shows you, as much as our own brothers want to deny it, or maybe they agree with it, but it shows you how much work we have, even with Slakia, with the Bible in our hand. You know what I mean? So it shows you that there is issues that we got to fix. But I mean, that's why the word is here, and that's why we're reading it, right?
Khan. Within the very, this is what I want to add. Within the very word that we hold nigh and near to us, there's all of these things within inside of us that we don't see, but yet a lot of our Ahchyam go out, point the finger at everybody else. And in this thing, in His very word, He says, before you do what? Call someone else out, take the beam out of your own eye. And the beam is still in Israel's eye as a nation. It's still there. As you just said, as I just said, it's divisions amongst us. We're not perfectly joined, and we don't have the same mind. Ox can't get together because one ox keep the Sabbath sun down and the other ox keep the Sabbath sun up. For that right there, it's a division and separation. So those two ox don't get along because one won't humble itself and say, "Hey, it don't matter, you know. As long as you keeping the Sabbath, I might be wrong, or you might be wrong. I don't know. But as long as you keeping the Sabbath, we gonna still rock together. Let's just keep it." That caused no division. It's over with. And if it's enough of y'all, and it's, you know, enough ox come together like that, then you could just have a council, and then you could just agree. You know, say 100 ox come together, we have a council, and hey, I might keep it sun up, the other ox might keep it sun down. But once we had a council, we come to agreement. I'm gonna put mine to the side if I need be for the greater good of what? The brotherhood. And if they say we have a council and the ox come together, they say, look, you know, we just gonna do sun up. Those ox that do sundown, they have to put their differences to the side and say, okay, we just going to agree on this for the greater good of the brotherhood, that there's no divisions amongst us and we are joined perfectly. I might feel that sundown is right, but for the greater good, for the no division, and that we join perfectly, I'm going to humble myself and go with this, or vice versa. That's love. But nobody's willing to do that because they want to be right, you know. And most high forbid if somebody feel like that they humbled themselves and look like a, as they would call it, like they tuck tail, which is just pride, you know. So, like I said, take the beam out because there's a lot of finger pointing. But we're not in this either. We're not doing what the words say. There's divisions, like the ox said. We're not perfectly joined, and we're not in the same mind. You can watch 5 videos right now from 5 different people, and everybody saying something different. We in the same word. Why? Why? A guy asked me one time when I was on the street preaching, he said, hey, man, all y'all got the same Bible? I said, yeah, we all got the same Bible. He said, well, how come everybody get a different understanding? Why is everybody saying something different? Man, take the word and turn it in what he wants. It's already written. We don't have to turn it into nothing. Paul is telling us, and then he says, I beg you. Somebody might say, I don't think that say beg. Let me get it. I want to show it say beg. Listen, now I plead with you. Now I appeal to you. Let me see. I urge you. I exhort you. I urge you. I beseech you. Now I beg you. Right? So he's urging you. He's begging you. He's pleading with you. Imagine Paul coming to us, pleading with us like this, that there be no divisions. In 2025, he's coming and he's saying, please, let there be no divisions among you. I'm begging you, brothers. Verse 11.
Come on, verse 11. For it hath been declared unto me of you, my brethren, by them which are of the house of Chloe, that there are contentions among you. Now this I say, that every one of you saith, I am of Paul, and I of Apollos, and I of Cephas, and I of Hamashiach. So
they saying that they belong to Paul, basically. Same thing as you would say a camp today, right? If Paul had a camp, just say that camp was called followers of Hamashiach, right? FOC or something like that. So everybody that's under Paul, that's what they would be saying. We're with FOC. Everybody that's under Apollos, say they was with WOC. Everybody that's under Caiaphas, they under another camp. So this is what Paul is saying. I'm with this camp, which is what Paul camp would be. I'm with this other camp, which is what Apollos would be. And verse 13 hits the nail on the head. What does it say?
Verse 13. Is Hamashiach or Christ divided?
Right.
Was Paul crucified for you? Or were you baptized in the name of Paul?
And that's what you have to ask yourself. Whoever that leader is of that congregation or that camp or church or whatever you in, were they crucified for you? Did they get beat for you? Did they go through the trials and tribulation? Did they come to this earth and not sin? No guile was in their mouth? No. But yeah, you have given your devotion to these men. And this is what Paul is saying. Is Hamashiach divided? And this is what we have to ask ourselves. Is he divided? No, he's not. He's not divided at all. Paul humbles himself right after that. This is what I mean by humbling yourself. He humbles himself so far to the ground that where he says, was I crucified for you? What the hell are you doing? Excuse my French. What the hell are you doing?
That's heavy.
Why are you following me? Talking about you belong to me. I wasn't crucified for you. What's the word earlier you said? We was talking about people doing stuff going off that they were what?
Psycho.
Psycho. This is psycho. This is psycho right here. And this is what Paul is saying. Was I crucified for you? Like, what is wrong with you? Were you baptized in my name? Did you go in the water and get baptized and say under Hamashiach Paul? No. So why are you worshiping, or why are you attributing yourself to me, or these congregations, or these camps? The one thing from the very beginning for me, and I've always got asked the same question when I run into other Ahchyam brothers, Israelites, they ask me, who am I under and who have I been taught by? And my answer is always the same. I say, Hamashiach YAHAWASHI. And you know, this is what they say right after that. They put that to the side. Literally, I say, Hamashiach YAHAWASHI. They say, yeah, off to the side. I know that. But who is your teacher? I say, Hamashiach YAHAWASHI. Yeah, we get that. But who taught you? I say, man, are you not getting what I'm saying? Hamashiach YAHAWASHI. Like they want to hear an earthly name. They want to hear about a man that has taught me. But I know it all comes through him. The only reason I have any understanding, the only reason I have anything, knowledge of anything, it all has to do with the Most High, the mercy, and his only begotten Son. That's it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have anything. But I notice when I tell men that it's a Mashiach, they put that off the side, like I say, and they want like, well, who do you watch? Who do you? And then I might say, well, oh, I watch the brother Shalawam or the priest. Oh, okay, yeah. Man, you didn't. That's like Paul. You didn't like, so you didn't understand when it was a Mashiach. But when I tell you about a man, oh, you okay with that? You get that. And this right here, like I say, it just shows how psycho we really are. And the Corinthians were at this time, right? Anything you want to add on that, Ak, before we move on?
Hey, just like in Ecclesiastes, when you read that whole book, there's nothing new under the sun. You know, ain't nothing new under the sun. They've been dealing with that then, and we still got that going on now.
Let's go to another one. 1 Peter chapter 3. We got a few more, and then we'll get ready to wrap it up. 1 Peter chapter 3, and I'm going to start at verse 8. I want to start at verse 8. So that was Paul. We went to Jeremiah. We went to David. We went to Paul. We went to Hebrews. Now we at the rock, right? The rock. Peter, Kepha, right? Chapter 3, verse 8. Go ahead.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 8. Finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another, love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous.
Are we doing that? No. No, none of us. This is what I mean. As Ezra said, you might find one brother that's doing this, but as a whole, no. I'm pretty sure you got one brother that's of a good mind, having compassion on others, loving his brethren. It's some good brethren out there. We got one on the chat right now, the brother Philip. Right? But as a multitude, is that what's going on? No. It's not all of one mind. They're not having compassion on one another. We seen videos, and we're not going to, talk too much about it, but we seen videos uploaded of other people, brethren, Ahchyam, fighting each other, broad daylight, outside. That's not showing love. That's not of one mind. That's not having compassion. Having compassion is walking away. Nah, Ahchyam, we not finna do this. Y'all can have whatever's going on right here. We love y'all brothers, and we gone, man. If this is the contention, if this is what it's gonna cause between us, brother, we'll step away. We love our brother too much to let this happen or let something like this go on. And we're gonna walk away, brother, and we love y'all. That's what real love is. That's what a real man is. That's what the Bible says, is it not? A real man doesn't fight. What does the Bible say? If somebody comes and approaches you and they hit you on the cheek, what does the Bible say? Turn the other cheek and let them what? And let them hit you again. But oh no. The brother that say he's an Israelite, the brother that say he believe in Hamashiach YAHAWASHI, the brother that say he believe in the Most High, you ready to brawl with your brother. You ready to gun your brother down in the streets like a non-believer. Both of y'all got fringes on. Both of y'all say, call halal Yahawah, SHAM Mashiach YAHAWASHI. And then y'all fighting each other. This is what I mean by hypocrites. You say you're an Israelite, you say you this, you say you that, but then you're a hypocrite. That's what we are. Call the kettle black. What is it? What's the saying?
Calling
the kettle black. That's what it is. Yeah, not throwing stone. You live in a glass house. Man, we live in a glass house and we throwing stones, big stones. And we live in a glass house. When you put Israelites under the microscope, like we doing right now, none of this is going on. And this is what the apostles wrote to us. Or wrote to those people at that time that we have now. And we're not doing none of this. Verse 8 said, finally, this is the final thing that Peter is saying. Be ye all of one mind. Man, we can't get 50 brothers together right now to be of one mind. Having compassion one of another. What is compassion? Compassion is something that a person shouldn't get. They don't deserve it, but you still give it to them. Man, let another brother find out another brother went off or went astray. Oh, man, he finna go in on that. Oh, this brother is this and this brother is that, or that sister's this and that sister's that. And this. Where's the compassion at?
Smock it out.
Come on.
And again, just like I mentioned earlier, there is nothing new under the sun. Just as even in the times of Moses, Jannes and Jambres opposing him. Mm-hmm. He had issues then, and that's still the topic of conversation, even as we're reading today. This is something that's in us. For whatever reason it is, it's just in us. And just like you mentioned earlier, these are conversations or topics that we need to bring out and hold each other accountable, put each other under the microscope, I hate to say it like that, but sometimes you have to, because sometimes we just do this to ourselves and it's like, hey, it is what it is. So be it. But how many more accounts or examples do we need to read in order to get ourselves right? You see what happened to Janice and Jambrees.
We just not really looking at ourselves in the mirror as a whole, you know. Brother think because he, you know, got the fringes on, you know the lingo, he read and study. But I mean, when it really comes down to it, look at verse 9. The very first thing it says is not rendering evil for evil. Come on, man. You see this every day. Every day. That means whatever that brother or whatever that sister has done to you, you don't try to bring nothing or no type of evil their way. They called you out your name. They made a video about you. They posted things about you. Whatever they did, you still don't speak no ill will, evil, nothing about them, nothing. And they not doing that. Go ahead, read verse 9 up.
Verse 9, 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. Not rendering evil for evil, or railing for railing, but contrariwise, if I pronounce that right, blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye shall inherit a blessing. For he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil, and his lips as they speak no guile.
Come on. No deceivement, no nothing, no guile. And that ain't there. I don't care what Israelite going out preaching the word on the corner right now or doing videos or whatever you doing. I don't care. It ain't there. It ain't there. Verse 9 and 10 is, I mean, that pierces everybody. Let him refrain his tongue from speaking evil, and his lips that they speak no guile, no deception, not trying to get over no type of way at all. Verse 11.
Verse 11. Let him eschew evil and do good. Let him seek peace and ensue it. For the eyes of the master are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers. But the face of the master is against them that do evil.
Now we understand why we in so much turmoil, hardship. Because even as Israelites, and I'm here to say it, we evil. We evil. And as righteous as you think you are, you're not. You're not. None of us are. That's our whole problem, is that we assume and we think that we're righteous, but we're not. And this is what the as they would call it, Torah, the Tanakh, the writings, this is what it showed us. An example like in Isaiah, when he said, I'm a man of unclean lips, when he went before the throne. And he said, I'm amongst a people of unclean lips. He thought he was righteous, a man of the Most High. But when he got in the presence of the Most High, he saw unclean he really was, just as well as Job. And the Bible says that Job was a righteous man, just and righteous. One that what? It shewed evil right here. It say the same thing in Job. Hold on, we're going to come right back there. Let me just show it. That's Job chapter 1 and 1, right? If I'm not mistaken. Con, read that.
The book of Job, chapter 1, verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared the Most High, and eschewed evil.
Same thing. Same thing Peter is saying is the same thing written in Job, right? So when we go down here and it says, let him eschew evil and do good, and let him seek peace and ensure it. Well, you have people like that in the Bible. Job, righteous. And then somebody say, well, that's Old Testament. You had in the New Testament, Elizabeth, Zechariah. Didn't it say that they were righteous in the New Testament? Well, let me get that. Let me see. Luke. Hold on. We'll come right back. If I'm not mistaken, that's Luke 1, right, Doc?
Believe so.
Let me see. Right here. Con, Luke 1 and 6, right here. Read 5 and 6.
Con, the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 5. There was in the days of Herod, the king of Judea, a certain priest named Zacharias, and of the course of Abiah, and his wife was the daughters of Aaron. Her name was Elizabeth, and they were both righteous before the Most High, walking in all the commandments and ordinances of the Master, blameless.
Now that was John the Baptist's parents. So even in the New Testament, there were righteous people. Now, did Zechariah do things? Well, we know he did something because when John the Baptist was born, he wasn't able to speak. Why? The Most High closed his mouth. For what? Did anybody remember what reason? You can say it, Ak, if you know it.
I totally forgot. I've seen that. I totally forgot.
Was it the naming of the child?
Well, that's when they were speaking about it, about the child.
It was something that had to do with like what the other people were saying about him. And didn't the Most High close his mouth so that he didn't respond? I just can't pinpoint exactly what it was.
He had unbelief. It says, and Zechariah said to the Malach, whereby shall I also know this? For I'm an old man. Let me see, stricken in years and answer. Uh, 19 and 20. You can read that. I believe this is it right here.
Come, Luke chapter 1, verse 19. And the angel answering said unto him, I am Gabriel.
Salakia. We might have to go up a little bit. You could get 18, I think. Let me see. I said, everybody said this for I'm old. Yeah. So basically, he was told that his wife was gonna have a child, and he's doubting the Most High, right? But he's a righteous man. But yeah, he's doubting the Most High, right? And if you don't get the complete understanding, go back and read all of this. Luke 1 and 18.
Come, the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 18. And Zechariah said unto the Malach, or the angel, whereby shall I know this? For I am of an old man, and my wife well stricken in years. And the angel answering said unto him, I am Gabriel, that stand in the presence of the Most High, and am sent to speak unto thee, and to show thee these glad tidings. And behold, thou shalt be dumb, and not be able to speak, until the day that these things shall be performed, because thou believest not my words, which shall be fulfilled in their season.
Now, is that a transgression against the Most High, not to believe his word? I don't think it's a good thing not to believe his word. The Most High told you something's going to come to pass, and then you're like, well, I don't know.
That's the same like with Abraham and like
with who?
Abraham and the wife.
Yeah, the same thing. Same thing. Abraham and his wife. But Abraham believed, but she didn't.
She probably believed too, and he didn't.
Yeah. So here it is, the same kind of scenario, right? So he like, man, she's stricken in years, like she's 90-something years old. You talk about she gonna have a baby.
Well, if they still doing what they're doing.
Yeah. Hey, so right here, Gabriel, he says he stands in the presence of the Most High. Who are you as a mere man, human, gonna deny the words of the Most High? What I just came to tell you, I'm a Malach. I stand in the presence of the Most High. I come to tell you she gonna have a child. But you know what? Since you don't believe the very words that I'm speaking, what did he say? Thou shalt be what? Dumb. Because you acted dumb and not be able to speak until the day. You won't be able to speak a word until that day that these things have what? Shall be performed. So you will know. After you've seen this thing perform, then you can speak. Because then when you speak, then you shall speak what? There you go. Because what you're speaking right now is foolishness. Yeah, you speaking foolishness now, but after you see these things come to pass, you will have no doubt. And as she said, you're going to speak marvelous things.
That's to coincide with the one that couldn't walk, or the one that was blind.
The one that was blind, the one that couldn't walk.
And they say he do that so that when they heal, then we speak of his miracles.
Come. Go ahead, read finish 20 out.
Verse 20. I'll read it again. Verse 20. And behold, thou shalt be dumb and not be able to speak until the day that these things shall be performed, because thou believest not my words, which shall be fulfilled in their season. And the people waited for Zacharias and marveled that he tarried so long in the temple.
He was in the temple when this happened. Go ahead.
And when he came out, he could not speak unto them. And they perceived that he had seen a vision in the temple, for he beckoned unto them and remained speechless.
He was speechless. He couldn't speak no more because of what happened, because he had doubt in his mind. He didn't believe what the Malak came and brought to him. But he was a righteous man. So even in our righteousness, when we think we right, it's still off. This is why I said we have to continually look at ourselves and humble ourselves. Stop thinking that you are something that you're not. I'm not saying don't think that you are, Elohim. Don't think that you are not a man of the Most High and things like. But you got to humble yourself. That's all I'm saying. And in humbling ourselves, it will bring more of us together. But when you have prideful people and prideful congregations and prideful camps that say we have the truth only, and if you're not a part of us, then you're not in it. Well, that tells me right then and there you don't have the truth. Because the whole Bible of what we've been reading about this whole day, or this whole time we've been live, it says what? No division. That's bringing division amongst the brethren. So, anyway, I just wanted to show that because I spoke on that in about people being righteous. Now we back in Peter. What verse we leave off at? Let me see. The Shuid.
Verse 10. Actually, Slakia.
We passed that one. We was at 12. Yeah, we were at 12. We had 13, I believe.
Gone.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 13. And who is he that will harm you if ye be followers of that which is good?
Mm-hmm.
And if ye suffer for righteousness' sake, happy are ye, and be not afraid of their terror, neither be troubled, but sanctify, I would say, Yahawah Allah in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear.
So he's basically letting you know, be ready to give that answer, right? As I was doing a lesson with my kids earlier before we got started about where the prayer is in the Bible. If somebody ever came to you and asked you, how do I pray? What do I pray? What would you show them? Right? So you want to be ready to give an answer of what? Your faith, your reason for the hope that you have. With the greatest thing he said right here is what? With meekness and fear. Humbleness. Humble. That person that you tell that to, they have to understand and realize and be so, how can I say it? When a person is so humble and you speak to someone and they like that person, that the way they delivered it, it was so humbling. It was such an experience. I never met anyone so meek before. That's what you want to show them. You want to show them that light that's within you, that shine, that they don't see all the time, that they never seen really.
So like,
Go ahead.
I think I've heard I don't know if it's an analogy or a metaphor, but sometimes they say that person was so down to earth.
Yeah. Didn't hold themselves so high on the pedestal. Yeah, that's a very good one. Yep. So down to earth. They definitely say that,
Come on.
Definitely say that. Let me see if this is what I want. Let's go to 1 John real quick, chapter 3, verse 12. Right? Because we see, as you were saying earlier, nothing new under the sun. All of this wickedness, this evilness, this thing that follows us, and we know what it is. What is it? Anybody tell me what it is?
Shame, pride.
Shame, pride. But where does all that come from? What does it stem from?
What's it start with?
Starts with a C.
I don't know. Contention.
The curses.
What are you talking about? Oh.
The curses. This is why all this is plagued on us. Right? This is why all this stuff is plagued on us. This is why all this stuff is upon us. Right? Go ahead, 12, and we'll get it before we close out. Go ahead.
Con, the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 12. Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, and slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil, and his brother's righteous. Marvel not, my brethren, if the world hate you. We know that we have passed from death unto life, because we love the brethren. He that loveth not his brother abideth in death.
So how do you know when you have passed from death to life? How do you know as a brother, as a man? John is telling you. I'll highlight it. Nobody said anything. Because we love the brethren. Once you sacrifice yourself, you humble yourself for the brethren. Like I gave that scenario earlier. Some ox may celebrate it this way. Some ox may celebrate the Sabbath on a sun up or sundown. And we get together. We have a council on that agreement. The council come together and say, look, we're going to do it sun up. Right? This is what we just agreed on. All the other ox that usually would do it sundown, they humbled themselves and agreed to this for what? The brotherhood. This is what passing from death to life. Death is what? Division, evil, contention. Why? Because it's against your own brother. This is why he said right after that, he that loveth not his brother abideth in what? Death. We read Psalms 133 earlier. It says how good it is for the what? The brethren to join in what? Unity. Would the Most High be mad at you for not keeping the Sabbath day at night and you started from the day when the sun rises and then you did it for the brotherhood? You sacrificed that of what you thought was right for the brotherhood so that we can have what? Unity. Would the Most High be happy with that or would he disagree with that? Answer that question for yourself. Would he agree and love that you did it for the brotherhood to bring the brotherhood together and have brotherly love? Or are you going to separate yourself and say, no, I feel like this is the way to do it. And if you don't want to do it, then I ain't with you. That's division. Go ahead. 15.
Verse 15. Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that no murderer hath eternal life abiding in him.
And let me tell you, not showing love and separating yourself and causing division within the brotherhood for things like that is hate. You might say, oh, That's exactly what Paul was just writing about. That's why we read it. Remember what he said. Was I crucified for you? Was I this? Was I that? Why are you talking about you belong to me? Why are you talking about you belong to this church, this congregation, this camp? What are you doing? So anytime you go against, as I just gave that scenario, and you had that one brother that's like, no, he's not going to do it. That's hating your brother, which you are being a murderer. Why? Because you cause a division, contention, and you're separating yourself from the brotherhood. Instead of humbling yourself, coming together for what? The greaterhood of the brotherhood or the brethren. This is why he's writing this. Go ahead, 16.
So like, even just to add to that real quick, even within that, what you just mentioned, just even calling yourself the general of the nation, you know what I mean? Just calling yourself the general of the nation, that you're basically saying you're high up there in rank to where, in essence, people got to answer you. So I didn't see Paul saying that. He said the opposite of what I just said. You feel me?
When you see Paul, Peter, Bartholomew, Matthias, any of those men, Barnabas, all those men humbled themselves and thought of themselves as nothing. For a man to get out on any platform and acknowledge himself as you call a general of the nation allows you to know that that man is not really that. Right? That for a man, I'll say this as I move on. For a man or woman to know that one is wise, you don't tell yourself you wise. Other people hear you, and they acknowledge that you are what? Wise. You don't need for them to tell you. You don't need for yourself to know. The people will know, and the people will acknowledge it and put that on you. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So there's no reason for you to go out and brag about what you are. If that's what you really are, then the people will adhere to it. They will know. Like Hamashiach YAHAWASHI, when he came out and he spoke and the people heard it, what did he say in his mind? Man, I got to get away from these people. They're going to make me their king. He didn't come out and proclaim that he was the king. He just spoke. Huh?
Thou sayest.
Yeah, he just came out, spoke, and when the words and the things that he said and he spoke, they was like, whoa. And then they start saying, Hosanna, Hosanna. And he was like, oh, man, here we go. He said, here we go. Let me get out of here. So the people will proclaim and make. You don't have to go out and do that. A great man doesn't have to do that. No great warrior goes out and say he's a great warrior. He shows that he's a great warrior by the work and the things that he do. The people come back and say that he was a great warrior. How do we know this? It said they made songs about it. Saul killed thousands, but David killed 10,000 upon 10,000s, right? David didn't walk around talking about he was no great warrior. The people did that for him. Why? Because that's what he was. When that's what you are, you don't have to go around telling everybody. That's like somebody hard in the hood and they walk around, I'm hard. I'm hard. You know I'm hard. Man, no. I mean, you live by what? Your reputation, the things that you do. You don't even have to be there and people will be talking about you. Oh, you know what? I heard what such and such to them did. And then somebody else will say, you know, that's how he is. I told them people don't play with him. He's not the one to be played with. The people will make that reputation. You don't have to do it for yourself. But when you go out there and you say it on yourself, you look like
you're boasting.
Thank you. She took the word right out of my mouth. You look like you're boasting. And if you got to boast, then you ain't really that. You just claiming to be that. But any man that got to boast about it, you ain't really that. You know, what you boasting about it for? If you that, then just be that. You don't need nobody to boast about it, to say like Paul even wrote about stuff like that. Where he said, I'm nothing. He said, I even came to you humble to where I didn't have to ask you for nothing. I don't want nothing. You know, I just came to bring this gospel. That's it. Paul said we humbled ourselves. We could have came. He said we could have came boasting, saying we this and we with Hamashiach but he said we didn't want to do that. We humbled ourselves. And even when we needed something, we didn't even ask y'all for it. We had other brethren that came from somewhere else that brought us what we needed. So y'all couldn't attribute that to us like, oh, they was asking us for money or they was asking us. No, we didn't ask you for nothing. Only thing we brought was the gospel. That's it. But let's go ahead so we can wrap this up. Verse, where we at, 16?
Yes, sir. Verse 16.
Go ahead.
1 John chapter 3, verse 16. Hereby perceive we the love of the Most High, because he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren.
Mm-hmm.
For whoso,
no, I'm just saying once again, there's another one, 1 John 3 and 16, that like he's saying, put your differences to the side. We ought to lay down our lives for the brother, and that's every way. Not physically just stepping in front of a bullet for a brother, but that's every way, in every component, in every type of fashion, every way, whatever it takes to help the brotherhood go forward in the love, lay it down, he's saying. If it's going to cause division, as long as it's not going against the Most High, of course, and his only begotten Son, but if it's going to cause division amongst the brotherhood, then lay it down, brother. Lay it down. Let it go. It's all about the Benjamin say, L-I-G, just let it go. Let it go. Go ahead.
Verse 17. But whoso hath this world's good, and seeth his brother have need, and shutteth up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwelleth the love of the Most High in him?
He gave you a scenario in verse 17. After he hit you with that in 16, talking about lay down your life, he gave you a scenario right after that in verse 17. You up, you got goods. And we see a lot of our Ahchyam out here doing good. They show it all on social media, posting pictures, all this stuff. And then you see other Ahchyam that's doing bad. And he's writing right now. He said, hey, if you doing good and you see your brother that's in need or doing bad, and you're not trying to help that brother, bring him up, where's the love of the Most High in you? Where's the love at? This is what he's saying. Lay down your life. Lay it down, brother, for the greater good of the brotherhood. What good is it you being up and you living good, but another brother is down and living bad and struggling? Believe me, it's a brother out there right now somewhere that is struggling, that needs some help with either his rent, some bills, just like we all do. But some of us are better off than others. Not that the brother asked or petitioned for it, but if you just see that brother and you know he's struggling, what's wrong with to do something nice? Even if he ain't asked, even if he may not ask or present it, but you just know he got a family, you know, to get a brother something to help with groceries, or if he got children, to just get some clothes. That might take a burden off of his back. You don't know, the child might have needed shoes for school or some clothing, and he didn't have it at that moment. He wanted to get his kids some clothes, but he didn't have it. And here you come with a bag full of clothes because the Most High sent you. And all that brother can say when he see you is all praises, man. Dang, I needed that, brother. I didn't want to ask. I didn't want to say nothing, but I needed that. Anyway, verse 18. This is why I said, like, we really not reading this and understanding this and living this. Go ahead.
That's That's the name of the class right there. Team. Together, everyone accomplishes more. Be able to help that brother provide, and he didn't ask for it, but hey, you say, you know what? I'm gonna step up to the plate, and I see there can be a little bit of assistance. There you go.
We're gonna read 18 and 19 before I go there. I just want to show real quick what the apostles, if I'm not mistaken, let me see this verse. What the apostles did. Oh, it's what is it? What does that say? Gamaliel's council, right? So that name that I was saying earlier is correct. Gamaliel's. So this is Acts 5. Let me see.
I think it's 3, isn't it? About the alms.
Is it 3? Acts 3.
Let me see.
I know it's the last verse. I thought it was 5. Where it speaks about how they gave
let's see, let me look it up.
Oh, here it is. It's 2. Salakia. Oh, Salakia 4. My bad. You can start at 34 real quick.
Book of Acts, chapter 4, verse 34. Neither was there any among them that lacked, for as many as were possessors of lands or houses sold them, and brought the prices of the things that were sold, and laid them down at the apostles' feet.
Now we're talking about the apostles. We're talking about after Hamashiach YAHAWASHI is gone. We're talking about the apostles. We're talking about the believers. And this is what they did amongst themselves, the brethren, right? And the sisters, because they was there too. But this is what they did so nobody would be in need. It said those that had lands or houses, they sold them. Ox ain't selling their house. I know a few ox right now that live in a home, nice homes. If they sold those homes, they can get 500,000-600,000. Imagine you being able to bring 500,000-600,000 to the brotherhood, and another ox sold his home for 350,000, and another ox sold his land for 200,000.
That's not all we can do is imagine that.
Imagine that, right? They ain't gonna do it, right? And then listen to this last part. And brought the prices, meaning brought the monies or of things that were sold. And as the Ak was saying in verse 35, and laid them down at the apostles' feet. Man, Ox is not doing that. As she just said, all we can do is think about it, dream about it, because they're not doing it. And this is why the brotherhood, as the Ox said, team is lacking. That's why that fist is not there, because Ox and Ahchwathyam sisters are not willing to do this. But I wouldn't even ask the sister to do it if she wanted to do it, all praises. But this is for the brethren, really. And laid it at the apostles' feet. They didn't ask, hey, Peter, what you going to do with this money? How you going to invest it? Who is it going to? No, I don't want it to go to that brother. Why? Well, hey, I don't really get along with that brother. No, they brought the money, laid it at the apostles' feet. Whatever the apostles felt fit that it needed to be done, that's where it went. They didn't ask no questions. How do we know this? The last part of it. Go ahead,
John. And distribution was made unto every man according as he had need.
See? They distributed to those that were in need. This is how they was able to thrive as brethren, as a team, as a nation. Go ahead.
Verse 36. And Josias, or Josias, or Joses, who by the apostles was third name Barnabas, which is being interpreted the son of consolation, a Levite, and of the country of Cyprus, having land, sold it, and brought the money and laid it at the apostles' feet.
He didn't have to do that. Barnabas did not have to do that, but he did it. He didn't have to go sell his land, but he did it. And even after he sold it, he brought the money to who? The apostles, and laid it at their feet, saying, this is yours. But was they, listen to this. Was they really giving it to the apostles, or were they giving it to who? Who were they really giving it to?
Those in need.
Those in need, the brethren, because it was people there that was in need. How do we know? Because it says it was distributed to those that what? Distribution was made unto every man according as he had need. Meaning whatever you need. Maybe it was a man that didn't have a family. He just needed some clothing or some shoes. Another man had a wife and kids, and he didn't have anything. So he needed a little more. So whatever was needed accordingly to each individual, that's what was given to the person. So I just wanted to show that in the book of Acts chapter 4:34 on down, right? As we're closing out. John chapter 3 verses, I believe it was 18 and 19. I said we read before we get out of here.
Book of 1 John chapter 3 verse 18.
Uh-huh.
My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth.
And all we've been doing is loving in deed. Not Salakia. I'll take that back. All we've been doing is loving in word and in the tongue. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care who get mad, whatever. These Israelites that you see on the camera, on the screen, on YouTube, and all these on the corners and all that, man, they off. They off. And you might say, well, how can you say that? Out of all of the things that we just went over today, you could see the contention, you can see the confliction, you could see internally that it's not right. It's not right. Now, I'm not saying the brother not striving, right? We have to strive for perfection. But what I'm saying is that we could do better. And we could do better for the brethren. That love is not really there as it should be. The love that should be there for the brethren is not really there. That's all I can say. You know, I got brothers' numbers that I reach out to and I send messages and things like that. Them brothers don't even reach out back. But when it's about something they want, they send stuff out, you know. And I understand everybody has life, everybody get busy. But when it comes to the brotherhood, that's priority. It's not a brotherhood of this world. It's a brotherhood of a spiritual thing. This who you're going to be in the kingdom with. So when a brother or an Ahchyam reach out, you get back with that brother. You see what that brother, hey, is he doing all right? Touch bases with that brother because you don't know what he's reaching out for. Just because he said Shalawam, he might be somewhere crying. He ain't gonna text you and say, hey, I'm crying right now. I'm going through it. He might just be reaching out, Shalawam, waiting on you to get back so he can just speak to somebody or say something. Or he could just be happy and just want to reach out to his brother. Verse 19.
Verse 19. And hereby we know that we are of the truth, and shall assure of our hearts before him.
Go ahead, 20.
Verse 20. For if our hearts condemn us, the Most High is greater than our heart, and knoweth all things. Beloved, if our heart condemn us not, then we have confidence toward the Most High.
What does this all mean? That if our heart condemn us? Our heart condemns us every day. Each time you think of something, a transgression, a sin, you go off, you feel shame, you feel guilt. So that's your heart condemning you. You feel it every day. If you don't feel it, then you just don't have no fear for the Most High. Straight up. If you don't feel any type of way, guilt, shame, or anything going against the Most High, then you just don't have no fear for the Most High. That's what he means when the Most High said he will bring dread upon you. That's that guilt. That's that shame. That's that feeling of you've been going off, you going astray, you did something wrong, whatever it is. But even when your heart condemns you to that, right? Here's the greater good. Here's the greater part. It says the Most High is greater than your heart. All praises be, right? Yeah, you condemn yourself. You went off. You did something. You feel guilt. You feel shame. But the Most High is greater than that. And he knoweth all things. So something, the good, put it like this. The good that's within inside you, I say like this, how a mother has a child and that child is vicious, murderer, evil, wicked. But that mother still loves that child because she still looks at him or looks at her and realizes them as that little baby. The good things that they did, the good moments when she held them and they laughed and giggled and right. But what they have grown into is this beast, something else. Well, the Most High knows you internally. So he can see past all of that. And he knows what's in there for real. And even though somebody might be a murderer or this, that, and the third, they still might have a good heart. They still might be a good person. They just have evil ways. I mean, when you watch them stories, I don't know who do, but I watched a couple of them with the wife, and
I watched them stories.
yeah, a lot of them, what they call them, mass murder, not mass murderers, them people that kill people just for cause. Serial killers. Man, when them people go and they do the documentary and stuff, and they talk to their neighbors, and they say they was nice people. Oh man, they were so nice. I went over there and him and his wife, and I know they was putting on a role, but even to portray that, you know how much that takes?
It don't take much when you're used to being like that.
Well,
it's just a part of them.
It's just a part of them. Mm-hmm. But I mean, maybe they was good people.
Everybody has two sides to themselves.
But maybe they were good people. Or nice, I should say, but they just had that evil side of them that like to eat people or kill people.
Say is everybody got two sides to them: the side they show people and the side they hide.
So you have two sides. Well,
not everybody come to you.
What you have
with who they really are.
What you have.
They either guarded, or whatever's happened to them, people feel a certain type of way.
What do you have though? I'm just looking for you to put in a certain format. You have a flesh, and then you have what? The spirit.
Well, you have the light and the dark side.
So that's what she's basically saying. Flesh, spirit, light, dark. Right? You have those two natures. Where do we get that from? Romans 7:7. Right? Paul goes into great detail about it. Romans 6, Romans 7, and many other places, Colossians. So you have those two different sides. Let me see. Anything you want? You said you want to go somewhere, Aunt?
Yes, if we can.
Let me see. Where'd you want to go?
Let's jump to we'll go 2 chapters. Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 18, and just 1 Samuel chapter 18 and verse 1, because we'll bring out a little bit of examples on team together. Together, everyone or everything accomplishes more. Let's see. What's the motto for a day? Together, everyone accomplishes more.
Let me read this real quick. Ephesians 4:13. It says, "Till we all come in the unity of faith and of knowledge of the Son of the Most High, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Hamashiach." All praises. First, that was Ephesians chapter 4, verse 13, 4 and 13. And the reason I read that is because 12 and 13, it says, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach. And then he lets us know all those things right there, the ministry, the edifying, the build up, the body of Hamashiach. It said till we all come in unity of faith. That's the only time that's going to happen, is when we all come in unity of faith and the knowledge of the Son of the Most High. So none of that will build and will be where it's supposed to be until we humble ourselves and come what? To the unity of faith. We lay down our own biased opinions or and do it for the faith, do it for the brotherhood. That's what is more important. 1 Samuel, what chapter?
Chapter 18.
18.
All praise to the Most High. That was brought out beautifully. I'm sitting here thinking about that, which is brought out, but all praises.
Oh, and that 4:12, yeah, man, that was powerful right there.
Yeah.
4:12, 18 and 1.
Right. So for those who have read it or those who haven't, a little bit of a backdrop for those that, as we read it, we'll continue on. But Jonathan and David are talked about quite a bit in the scriptures just because of the love they had for each other. And I just thought it'd be fitting, since we're talking about teamwork, more or less, that it'd be nice to show an example of this teamwork being conducted, being applied, even during the midst of chaos. So if you don't mind reading down, we'll probably read all the way from 1 and maybe to about 5 or 6.
Con, you want to jump on that, Dominic?
Verse 1.
Con.
1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 1. And it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul.
Right. So, for those that don't know, Jonathan is a son of King Saul, and it says that him and David it says that Jonathan loved him as his own soul. So he's applying scripture. He loves him as his own soul, right? Him and David are tight. Go ahead.
And Saul took him that day and would let him go no more home to his father's house. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant, because he loved him as his own soul.
Go ahead.
And Jonathan stripped himself of the robe that was upon him, and gave it to David, and his garments, even to his sword, and to his bow, and to his girdle.
All right, stop right there. So for those who haven't read it, I encourage you guys to read 1 Samuel, and more particular, 1 Samuel 18 and 19, since we're going to jump over to chapter 19 right now to prove a point. But it says that Jonathan and David were very tight. They were showing love to each other. And as we read on, you can kind of see how important that is, because with Saul, and for those who know how Saul went against King David, right? So that just shows you the importance of the love that they had for each other, even during the midst of the infighting, I guess you can say, right? Or the hatred that Saul had towards David. So now we can jump over to chapter 19, and it'll kind of get to the point that I'm trying to prove or bring out.
Chapter 19.
Read verse 1, and we'll go all the way down to about maybe 7 or 8.
1 Samuel chapter 19, verse 1. And Saul spake to Jonathan his son, and to all his servants, that they should kill David.
Now remember, keep in mind, this is King Saul, who spoke to Jonathan his son, who we just read in the chapter before had a close relationship with King David. It said that their souls were knitted together, and that he loved David as his own soul. So now you got King Saul, which is Jonathan's father, telling him, hey, forget all that. I need you to go kill David. Kill David. Read on, verse 2.
But Jonathan, Saul's son, delighted much in David. And Jonathan told David, saying, Saul my father seeketh to kill thee. Now therefore I pray thee, take heed to thyself until the morning, and abide in a secret place, and hide thyself.
Right. So now we got Jonathan going against the commands of his father, and telling David himself, hey, look, my father, you know how he is. He's trying to kill you. But please listen to me and do what I say. Hide in a secret place. He's showing love and taking care of David just like himself. he's having that foresight to know, you know what, this can't happen. For one, my father's in a sad state right now, and he's going against everything the Most High stands for. But he's showing love and doing teamwork, making sure his brother or the person that he loves, just like himself, is in a safe spot. He's not in trouble. Go ahead, verse 3.
And I will go out and stand beside my father in the field where thou art, and I will commune with my father of thee, and what I see that I will tell thee. And Jonathan spake good of David unto Saul his father, and said unto him, Let not the king sin against his servant, against David, because he hath not sinned against thee, and because his works have been to thee ward very good.
So now we got Jonathan Salakia speaking up on David's behalf, showing that love, showing the application. You know what? I'm gonna do everything I can to protect you, David. Basically laying his life down for his brother, because his dad could be like, you know what, you're going against me. How dare you? Think about it. In today's time, if we're under dictatorship and you went against King Jong or whatever his name is, he would put you to death. People literally fear that man. And King Saul's in that position right now. But he has his son bucking up and going against him and saying, listen, Dad, I know this is what you're wanting me to do. And listen, I get all that, but this is King David. So he's literally laying his life down for his brother at this point.
Hey, you know, Salaki, it makes me think of something real quick. That at this point, I believe, because David is around and things of this nature, and we know, I believe the first interaction with David is when he was brought to play the harp because that evil spirit was on Saul. We see Saul making these type of decisions because of evil that's being presented and pushed on him, or that had been put on him from the Most High. And you know, his son, as the ark is bringing out, Jonathan didn't have that evil spirit. He didn't have that evilness in him. He actually was, you know, he loved the Most High. He feared the Most High. And this is why him and David had such a great connection, because they both loved the Most High. You know, so you can see this difference between Saul and the hate and the evil that was inside of him, that was taking over him, that was leading him to make these rash and evil decisions against David, basically, right? And Jonathan was that mediator in the middle that wasn't going to let it happen. All praises be to the Most High for that. But I just wanted to point that Saul did have that evil spirit upon him. Go ahead.
Right. Read on verse 5, and this we'll close it out right here. I just really wanted to point out some of the works or the application of laying down your life for your own brother at this point from Jonathan, right? Because again, keep in mind, this is King Saul at this point. At this point, you went against him. There's probably times where you get put to death. All right, read on verse 5.
For he did put his life in his hand and slew the Philistine, and Yahawah wrought a great salvation for all Israel. Thou sawest it and didst rejoice. Wherefore then wilt thou sin against innocent blood to slay David without a cause?
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, for those who've read it, or maybe those who haven't, I would encourage you guys to read the whole entire book of 1 Samuel. But for this account that we're bringing out, chapter 18, 19, and so on, it'll touch on a lot of what went down between King Saul and King David and how long that process was drawn out. But I just really wanted to bring out just Jonathan himself demonstrating the love he had for another brother other than himself, and showing how far he would go to protect David, and just showing you some things that we can be doing. Not necessarily in that case, but just showing the love we can have for one another. It doesn't necessarily have to be stopping someone from dying, right? But it could be showing love to each other. Basically, that's all I wanted really to bring out.
Yeah, that was a beautiful thing. And we know through this story that Saul basically turned his back on his kids, not only his son Jonathan, but also his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
you know, that was married to David. You know, as you read, as the ox said, go back and read all of Samuel, 1 Samuel and 2 Samuel, that you know, Saul was trying to use his daughter to actually set David up to kill him too. And through that, you know, his daughter really loved David. And she told David, hey, you know, you need to leave because my father, you know, in the morning when you get up to leave or go outside, is men out there waiting that they're going to kill you. So that love was really genuine for not only his wife, but as you said, you know, his brother Jonathan, that they really loved each other and had a genuine love for one another. And Jonathan would have been great in David's kingdom had he not died with his father. But that's what was prophesied, you know. So, but I believe there was one. It was one son left of Saul, and I believe he was handicapped, something like that. Wasn't he handicapped?
Gotta go back and look.
Yeah, it was something wrong with him, and they thought that he was going to kill him when David came into power. But, you know, once again, David said, you know, no, you know, Saul wanted to kill me, but I love Saul, you know, he was our king. So he didn't have that hatred in his heart. You know, let me get that since we spoke on that.
Why you're doing that, Ak, and that's I'm glad you brought that out. That's beautiful, because even as you read on and read from King David's side of the story, King David never had a grudge against King Saul. He went against the hatred that Saul had displayed towards him. So again, as another example you can see in how to conduct ourselves or show love or application of that is King David himself. He could have easily put King Saul to death, but he didn't.
Con. I think it says 2 Samuel chapter 9. And it's a lot. Let me see. 2 Samuel chapter 9, verse 1.
The book of 2 Samuel chapter 9, verse 1. And David said, is there yet any that is left of the house of Saul, that I may show him kindness for Jonathan's sake? And there was a house of Saul, a servant, whose name was Zibai or Ziba. And when they had called unto David, the king said unto him, art thou Ziba? And he said, thy servant is he. And the king said, is there not any of the house of Saul, that I may show the kindness of the Most High unto him? And Ziba said unto the king, Jonathan hath yet a son, who is lame on his feet.
That's what it was. He was lame on his feet, right?
So he couldn't
walk. So it was a son that was left over, right? That was from the house of Saul. But see how David is going into great detail, as the Ak was bringing out earlier, the connection that Jonathan and David had, that evil that was on Saul wasn't upon David, you know. And David is not only trying to show to the house of Saul, but to his people, the nation that he was the king over, that this is what true team love, brotherhood is really about. Because they actually thought he was going to kill anybody that was left from the house of Saul. But he's letting them know, like, I want to show kindness. Like, you know, they gone, but if you from them, I'll still show you kindness, right? So it says Jonathan had a son, which was lame from his feet, so he couldn't walk. So paralyzed or whatever the case may be, he couldn't walk. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And the king said unto him, where is he? And Ziba said unto the king, behold, he is in the house of Machar, the son of Amiel, and Lo-debar. Then King David sent and fetched him from out of the house of Machar, the son of Amiel, from Lo-debar. Now when Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, was come unto David, he fell on his face and did reverence. And David said, Mephibosheth. And he answered, behold, thy servant. And David said unto him, fear not, for I will surely show thee kindness for Jonathan thy father's sake. and will restore thee all the land of Saul thy father, and thou shalt eat bread at my table continually.
Mm-hmm.
And he bowed himself and said, What is thy servant, that thou shouldest look upon such a dead dog as I am?
So that's how he looked at himself, as a dead dog. As I am. I'm your servant. Go ahead.
Then the king called to Ziba, Saul's servant, and said unto him, I have given unto thy master's son all that pertained to Saul and to all his house. Thou therefore and thy sons and thy servants shall till the land for him, and thou shalt bring in the fruits, that thy master's son may have food to eat. But Mephibosheth, thy master's son, shall eat bread always at my table. Now Ziba had 15 sons and 20 servants. Then said Ziba unto the king, According to all that my master the king hath commanded his servant, so shall thy servant do. As for Mephibosheth, said the king, he shall eat at my table as one of the king's sons.
So you get the gist of what we're trying to say. So Jonathan's son that was basically paralyzed or couldn't walk, he was at the king's table. So he was very well taken care of. And not only him, the lady Zabiah or Zabah, or however you pronounce their name, I don't want to mispronounce it, but I already did. They was given Saul's land, and they was able to eat from the fruit and all. Like it just said, she had 15 sons and all these different things like this. They were well taken care of, right? But they thought, because Saul got killed and David became king, everything was going to be, they thought the worst. But that's not what David did. David set them up really good. And everything that Saul had, he gave back to them. And then he put Jonathan's son at the king's table and treated him as what? One of his own sons, the king's son. So basically he was royalty. As he once was, because his dad, I mean what would that be? His grandfather was Saul, was the king. His dad was Jonathan, which would have became king after Saul, but things didn't happen like that. So once again, like you said, team, brotherhood, and it shows you not to go out with that evil. We read that earlier when we was reading, don't render evil for evil, or railing for railing, I believe it said. So David didn't do that. Saul came after him multiple times, tried to kill him, like I said, through Jonathan, through his daughter. He threw javelins at, he did a lot. But even when he was in that cave and David cut off a little piece of his robe,
yeah,
he let him know. He said, King Saul, if I wanted to kill you, I could have. I was so close to you that I cut a piece of your clothing off. But I don't want to kill you. I love you. You the king. I don't know why you hate me, but I don't have that same hate for you. And even after his death, he still showed it. Matter of fact, when he did die, for those who have read, this is why we say go back and read, that the man who came and told him that Jonathan and Saul had died, that was in that war, he asked him, how did you get away to come and tell me? And he ended up killing that dude because I think it was his matter of fact,
he was a servant.
He was one of their servants. I think he was like his arm bearer or something, like to hold his stuff, like his swords and armor or something like that. But he was like, how did you get away to come and tell me that they're dead? Like, why didn't you stay and fight? Why didn't you, So it's a lot. But the moral of everything, hopefully you get the understanding, the gist of what it is that we're trying to say here today, that we've been bringing out all throughout the day, that we must show brotherly love. We must show love to one another. We must lay down our life. And we must be honest that, let's be honest, Israel is not living like this. It's just not, And if you want to keep living a lie, like, Thessalonians say, the Most High will let you believe that lie. And send you that strong delusion that you think all these Ahchyam or these ox that you see on TV, YouTube, on the corners, that they are living in a righteous way, which is just not true. It's a lie, because they show you with the division, with the contention, We went through all these different things. We don't have to go through all of them again, but they show you. And I just think it's something that we need to work on as a people to show more brotherly love and come together and be a team. That's why this channel is called Yashrala Yakad, which means unite or united. We need to unite. Israel needs to unite as one. That's all I got, unless you got something else, but I did want to bring that out. So that's all I got. I think this was a beautiful lesson on touching on some key points. Many more things that we could touch on. Possibly, maybe it may need to be a part 2 on this, but it's definitely something that needs to be addressed on a constant basis. Like you said earlier, for a man to get up and proclaim that he is the general of the nation. You know, like I said earlier, and I gave the explanation. Why do you need to get up and proclaim that? You know, just be that if that's what you are, and bring unity, not division. You know, it is not the unity of the world, but the unity within inside the nation. That's what the nation is crying out for. When you really think about it, all that's going on, they're really crying out for unity. You know, for love. And since we don't have that, this is why all of the things is just spilling out, going crazy all over. And this is why you see all of the stuff that you see on social media about Israelites, because of the lack of unity with one another. If we come together, this is why the Bible says 2 is better than 1. Let's get that real quick before we close out on Amos, I believe it is. Is that Amos?
No, Ecclesiastes 4.
Ecclesiastes 4.
Ecclesiastes
4.
Verse 9. We could start at verse 9.
Verse 9, This is the book of Ecclesiastes, and the Ak wants to start at verse 9.
I read it.
Chapter 4. 4:9.
I'll read it.
You okay?
I'll give everybody a second to get it.
And I want to say this as we close out and read this verse of the day, that it's not a bash on our brothers. And notice all the time I said we. I never excluded myself. I look at myself in the mirror and I feel that I could do better. I know I could do better. I could do gooder, however you want to look at it. We have things that we have to work on. I have things that I have to work on. And we need to love our brothers more and our sisters and extend that hand, you know, and not cause division or separation. That's not here. That's not on this platform. That's not in this brotherhood. So just know, if you be a part of this or join this, or, you know, that's not here. There's no division. There's no separation. We're all brothers, and everybody deserves the same equal respect. So Ecclesiastes 4:9. Go ahead.
Oh, God, right before I read that, just to add to what Ak said, and myself as well, I'm not excluded from that. I know in the same way, shape, or form, I feel the same way as Ak. And just to add to that, and a shout out to all those elders, all those men that are out there applying what we've just brought out, or showing these works, right? Showing the love they have for their brothers, and the women and the children, you know what I mean, that are being taught by the husbands, but taught by the elders, right? So shout out to all those men that are out there doing their thing and leading by example, doing these things that the Bible speaks of. So again, I just want to shout out all you men and all those that are fighting the fight just like we are, right? And Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9. 2 are better than 1, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. Again, if 2 lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone?
How can one be warm alone? So you have more body heat, more heat if you have 2. Right? 2 is better than 1. Anything else?
Yeah, right there in verse 10, it says, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth.
Mm-hmm.
That means death or destruction. or not something not good. Either way you want to look at it. So
Right.
the Most High is against those that are, what is it, alone.
For he have not another to help him up.
Right.
This is what I go back to earlier where I say Ak might just be reaching out. He might just be saying Shalawam. You know, Shalawam, Ak. But you put it on the shelf because you got other things going on. You know, that Ak might be reaching out. He might be crying out. He just might need someone to talk to, or the sister, you know. The Ahchwathyam might be crying out, you know. Of course, that don't have a husband or anything like that. And I'm talking about on the spiritual aspect. I'm not saying she trying to, you know, nothing negative in the spiritual aspect. But you never know what other people are going through. And we have to lean on one another, you know. Hey, today wasn't a good day for me, man. No, man. You know, I woke up and I just wasn't feeling it, you know. I didn't even want to pray this morning. I just feel drained. I'm tired, you know. Me too, Ak. I feel the same way, man. You know, I just been fighting through it. You know, it's just been hard on me lately. And this is how, you know, you talk to one another and open up. Come to find out y'all going through some of the similar same things. And then you start to help one another. You know, you get off the phone, you know, the next day, you might want to call that brother and check. Hey, Ak, how you doing today? You all right? I just wanted to call and see how you was doing, Ak. You know, I'm here for you, brother, you know. And whether you believe it or not, that may make that brother feel good, make him feel whole, make him feel like, hey, I'm not alone. You know, that little 5-minute phone call, 5-second phone call, 5-second text. It means a lot to somebody, you know, and that's what it's all about. So that's why we wanted to do this lesson. That's why we wanted to bring this out. 2 is better than 1. You know, I'm very thankful that the Most High, you know, has sent the brother into me, or let me take that back, has allowed through the Spirit for our spirits to come together in this worldly environment that we in at this time in life, that our path was able to cross, you know. So I'm very gracious of that, because 2 is better than 1, you know.
Right, God. And just to add to what you're saying, verse 12, and if 1 prevail against him, 2 shall withstand him, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken. So now it's adding another brother or person to that layer. So now we got 3 are better than 2. Obviously, there's a message that's being right in front of our face for us to pick up and apply.
Getting stronger.
Yeah.
Getting stronger.
Oh, somebody left a comment.
2 shall withstand him.
You right?
Huh?
Somebody left a comment.
That's Brother Timothy.
The one that says at Baruch.
Yeah, that's Brother Timothy. Shalawam, Brother Timothy. All praises be to the Father Yahawah, his only begotten Son, Hamashiach YAHAWASHI, the water for tuning in. I know you was in your Sabbath day class, so I appreciate you tuning in. That's our Brother Timothy all the way out of Baltimore, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, that's him.
Shabbat Shalawam.
Shabbat Shalawam. He says, all praises to Yahawah by his only begotten Son. I've been listening for only about 30 minutes. My mama always said, if it ain't already good.
If it's already good.
Oh, if it's already good, Salaki, if it's already good, sit back and say, Amen. So I say, Amen. Amen.
Yes, Baltimore.
Baltimore. Yeah, we knew. I knew it was you, Brother Timothy, when I seen that. I knew so that's our Brother Timothy. That's what we were saying earlier in the lesson. Way, you know, we got brothers in Baltimore, Maryland. We got brothers in Canada, South Africa, India, Arizona. You know, I'm pretty sure it's some other places that just don't reach out and say that may watch where they from. But, you know, we scattered to the 4 corners of the earth. So we just wanted to do this lesson on the brotherhood, accomplishing things as a team. And it's things that we need to work on and look at ourselves in the mirror. Once again, we're not bashing any camp, any brothers, nobody. We love all our brothers, but all we saying is, as a nation, because we say we all need to work on brotherly love, because it's something that we lack and we don't have enough of, right? We just don't have it. And a lot of things we read and we went over today, in Corinthians and Peter and in other places, we're not doing. We're just not. And if you want to lie to yourself, like I said, by all means, go ahead. But I'm not going to lie to myself. I'm not doing it. There's not enough brotherly love. And it's just things that we're not doing, as the Bible says, divisions, contentions. Nobody laid down their life for us but Hamashiach YAHAWASHI, right? And I brought this out earlier, and this is it. And I'm not going to read the whole thing. I just want to go to the one comment that I did make when I said John was crying, right? It's Revelation 5. I said this earlier for those who was there. I'm just showing you. Revelation 5:4 says, I wept much because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon. And one of the elders said unto me, weep not, meaning don't cry. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, have prevailed to open the books and loosen the 7 seals. I'm going to stop right there. Like I said, I wasn't going to read it all, but we know it was through Hamashiach YAHAWASHI, and all praises be to the Most High for that. That's all I got. Hey, man, we appreciate you tuning in. I know it's been a long day for you. What it says, oppression makes a wise man mad. Hurt
people hurt other people.
And the brother Timothy out of Baltimore, Maryland says, and hurt people hurt other people. And that's what we have to be cautious of, because there's a lot of hurt Israelites. There's a lot of hurt Israelites. There's a lot of hurt Ahchyam with your brethren. And there's a lot of our sisters that are hurt, the Ahchwathyam. They're so hurt, disappointed in the men, in the brotherhood, in the nation. And how do we know this? Things have been happening for the past few months. We see it on the comments and the things that people say. I can't believe this. I'm so hurt. The reason they hurt so much is because they put their trust in men and not in the Most High. But on the flip side of that, the Most High told the woman to put the trust in the man because he's your head. So we need to do a better job as brethren, all of us, right? Like I said, we. Anytime a man starts to separate himself out of that equation, he feels like he's better, basically, than Hamashiach YAHAWASHI. Because if you can feel like that you don't need it, then you don't need a savior. And Hamashiach YAHAWASHI said he came for the sick. He didn't come for the the ones that were whole. And I'm sick. I'm so sick, I'm in a hospital bed. Right? I don't know about you, but for those who say, well, he didn't say that, I don't know. I'm gonna show you in the scripture. Mark 2:17. It says, Yahawashi heard it and saith unto them, they that are whole have no need for a physician, but they that are sick, I came not to call righteous, but the sinner to repentance. So I'm sick. And that's who Hamashiach YAHAWASHI came for. And that's who I call on. That's who will lead me to all righteousness, the truth, and everything else. So that's who we believe in, Hamashiach YAHAWASHI, who the world calls Jesus Christ. Let me see. The brother Timothy says, that's it, sir. My goodness. Then he says, oh, my goodness. You own it. My goodness. Connie, Jenny Wood, for her excellent, all of her things that she put in the chat and, how she helps us out. Thank you, Jenny Wood, official. Mark 2:17, which I just read, right? That he came for the sick. And if you think that you whole and you think that you righteous, then he didn't come for you. He didn't come for you. So what need is it for you to believe in Hamashiach if you're whole? Like he say, step to the side. I didn't come for you. I came for the ones that are sick. Why? Because they need that water. They need that living water. They need that real fruit. They need that real bread that came down. Not like the manna. I'm not going to get into it. I'll be here all night. But not like the manna when it came down, but the true bread, the true vine. Right? Go ahead, Art. That's all I got. I'm closed out.
Con. As we close out, for myself, I know from Art, I want to say to Wada, everybody, thank you for tuning in once again, for putting your comments in the section, communicating with us, having a conversation, dialogue. And once again, just please, if you guys don't mind, give us a like, share these videos, subscribe, help us out. And if possible, just like we brought out on Acts earlier, if you don't mind donating to the ministry, that allows us to help others who are in need. And again, just thank you guys for tuning in once again. Most High will, we can do something like this again for the next Shabbat. And again, if you have any topics you want us to bring out or maybe any questions, please feel free to hit us up at our email that's located at the bottom. And I just want to say, give all praise to the Most High in the name of His Son, Hamashiach YAHAWASHI. And I pray all your Shabbat as well. And I pray all is well with all of you. I thank you once again for tuning in.
Okay, the brother Timothy said another comment.
I can read it.
Go ahead.
From Brother Timothy. Not to throw this in, but it ties in. These curses still affect us all, but us men is really bad. Leaving our children and wife to hold it down alone.
You know, it's very crazy and odd that one can speak on something that when somebody wasn't even there yet speaking, you know, because we said this earlier. I remember saying it. What is all this stem from? The lack of love, the lack of brotherhood, the lack of everything. Brother Timothy hit it right on the head. It's the curses. It's the curses, you know. And like he says right here, it's our downfall for our children, for our wives, and for us. And this is why I say we just need to do a better job, you know, as brethren, as men, as women, and even the children. Because the children have a responsibility just like the parents have a responsibility. And we all need to just do better, you know. But thank you for that comment, Brother Timothy. We appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button. We give all praises, honor, glory, esteem to the Father Yahweh. Call Allah Yahweh by SHAM Mashiach Yahushai. With that, we say Barakatham, Kwam Yasharallah. And we hope Kwam Yasharallah. Kwam Yasharallah. We hope everybody has a beautiful rest of your Shabbat day. Enjoy it. Get you some rest. Eat good. Put your feet up, you know, or whatever it is that you do. But we really hope you enjoy it. And make sure to tune in on our next Shabbat class. If you are able to. Usually we go live about 11:30 on the Shabbat, and we have, you know, different classes, different topics that we go over. As the Ox said, if it's any topic that you may have that you want us to go into, or greater detail that you may lack some understanding or don't have the understanding on it, please email us, let us know, and we'll make sure we bring it out. So Jenny Wood said Shalawam. The brother Timothy, he gave the fist, which we talked about earlier. I believe that's the fist. He said earlier, Mayan, she said Shabbat Shalawam, Kwam Yasharallah. I'm just going through all of the last chats. The brother Timothy, once again, he said rest, family, all praises. He gonna get that good rest in. Mayan Napashia, she said Khan. And the brother Timothy says, the battle is not ours, says the master. Khan. The battle is not ours. It is Hamashiach Yahushai, the anointed one, the savior, who the world calls Christ. Right? So all praises be. Yes, Khan. Well, that's the last one. I believe so. Yeah, that's the last one. So that's all we got. So once again, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to tune in again throughout the course of the week. We will be doing some other lessons. So keep your eye on the channel and definitely on the Shabbat. Like I say, we usually go live about 11:30. So if you haven't tuned in, or is this your first time tuning in, please tune in again. Every Saturday, every Shabbat at 11:30, we will be live if the Most High allows it. So we give praises, honor, and glory to him, his only begotten Son, Hamashiach YAHAWASHI. And with that, we say, Shalawam.
Shalom.